It really pains me to do this right now, and I keep doing it every single episode. But once again, here's a new episode with the pre-programmed Rodecaster Pro 2 intro music. The only jingle it comes with that I haven't changed. But welcome back to the podcast. Here's episode 402. All right, so I can't hear myself properly right now. I've got a beanie on and hair over my ears. There's a reason for that. I was also trying to go for these slut strands, as you do when you're like skiing or snowboarding, like when you pull out your bangs through your helmet in the front by your goggles. I was trying to go for that too. Is this working right now? Let me see on my... We're not. Okay, there's like a subtle slut strand. The reason I'm wearing... There's a reason for this. Okay, I've got a beanie on. I've got a North Face t-shirt and a Yeti water bottle with a metric ton of national park stickers on it. This episode, the reason I'm wearing this today, the reason why there is a flannel patterned blanket behind me is because this is going to be my Yosemite recap episode. This episode is going to be granola as okay? So if you don't get aroused when you drive by an REI or get butterflies when you drive by an REI, this episode's not for you. Keep scrolling. Also, if you've never taken a in the woods and like dug a hole with a stick and taken a in the woods, this episode's also not for you. Yeah, like that's going to be what we're doing here. So it's going to be the Yosemite National Park recap. Corey, me and the dogs and my high maintenance, we'll talk about that. Drove to Yosemite National Park last weekend and we have a lot to talk about. But, you know, it wouldn't be a traditional or it wouldn't be a Jacqueline Monroe show episode without starting off with something extremely tragic happening in the world right now. I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off before I set the scene, but before I tell you what lip gloss I'm wearing, before I talk about my beverages on set, before I talk about what I did this morning and how amazing my life is. 242 people actually one of them survived. We'll talk about him. 242 people just lost their life in a Air India crash. So let's talk about it. This is breaking news coming out of, I'm not even going to attempt the name of this airport. Basically, it climbed to 625 feet. And they called in a mayday and then they lost contact with them and then they crashed. So you've probably seen it. I will now be booking seat 11A to my flight or on my flight to Washington. I just booked last night. So here's what I'm getting to. Hi, we're starting off the episode, the Yosemite Granola's episode. You know, my fun, lighthearted episode with a plane crash segment because what the hell? You know, I booked a flight to Washington last night to go to my sister's bridal shower. My older sister Julia is getting married this summer. She's got a bridal shower next month. And I booked my flight last night to Washington to see her via probably a Boeing 737 Alaska Airlines flight. Okay. Yeah, it was an Alaska Airlines flight. Okay, cool. It is a Boeing. Fuck my life. Okay. So I will now be booking seat 11A because the single sole survivor of this Air India crash, this 40-year-old British man who hobbled out of the rubble. It's amazing. It's insane. There's video of him like in a white t-shirt with blood stains walking down the street to an ambulance. He survived this plane crash. Apparently this man was sitting in seat 11A. So I feel like I shouldn't be wearing sunglasses when I talk about this. This feels insensitive. I don't know I do not, at this point, you guys know, the reason I'm talking about this is because I have a chronic fear of flying. And I've mentioned how I literally have to be blackout drunk every time I fly now. I need to be rolled in on a stretcher on the plane because that's how much anxiety I have about flying now. And I honestly need to get like a prescription for a fucking beta blocker or like a Xanax or some sort of something to calm me down because it is really bad. And this is not helping. And it's so tragic and so sad. Let me take off my shades and show you my full glam because I am wearing a lash strip today. That's also important to note during this segment that I am full glam, lashes on. fuck me, you know, like I don't know how to be serious in times like these, but this is what we've got. This is what we know. Okay. So I believe this flight was heading to London, to Gatwick Airport. I've flown in there a couple times. You got to take a train. When you fly into Gatwick, you have to you fly in and then you take a train. I think this is kind of fun because most people fly into Heathrow. I don't know if I was on a budget during the time. I feel like I saved up a lot of money for my flights to London, but I thought it was kind of funny. Like flying to Gatwick, it's like a 30-minute train ride or so outside of London. You train it into St. Pancras or fucking whatever, wherever in London to, you know, go to your hotel or whatever. And I thought it was kind of fun because you see the countryside a little bit. You see like the little Harry Potter homes. So yeah, this flight was going to Gatwick. This Air India flight. This was a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner. Apparently this was an 11-and-a-half-year-old Boeing plane. And there's some tea. Okay, so this is tea from a commenter on, I think, Bloomberg Business's post about it, or fucking CNN. I don't know. I was scrolling my Instagram this morning. This is how I woke up. Okay. And I was like, this person seems like they know what they're talking about because of this Instagram comment on it. And I was like, I didn't fact check this. So like take this with a grain of salt. But from what he wrote and all the likes on it, I was like, this is good tea. So it's an 11-and-a-half-year-old Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner. And it said, this person commented that it should have been taken out of service last year due to a B check. All it takes is one quick search and you'll find they didn't do it. So I was like, hey, chat. Hi, chat. What's a B check? So there's clearly like an issue here with safety checks and them looking the other way. Apparently, according to this commenter, a B check is a routine maintenance inspection done roughly every 6 to 8 months. It includes things like gear alignment, hydraulic inspections, engine component checks, about 160, 180 labor hours over 1 to 3 days. So they were like, apparently they didn't take it out of service. It didn't pass the B check. This person allegedly looked this up and found this out about the plane. I don't know how that's possible. I'm not going to ask any further questions, but this seems like a trend. Like planes are flying that shouldn't be because they're not sound and they're not passing these maintenance checks. So skipping or delaying one can compromise safety, but many airlines now roll B check items into their regular A check cycles to avoid removing the aircraft from service longer. So it's all fucked up. So it's like they're letting shit slide and they're when they should not be. So Air India have been troubled recently. This is back to the commenter on that Instagram post that we're going to believe here. Great journalism, Jacqueline. Air India have been troubled recently with issues, and the Tata Group bought them and placed a 500 new aircraft order. They say this can't be blamed on Boeing. This is simply a failure of Air India. So I was like, Tata Group, you know, sounds like some sort of like, I don't know, like a nightclub type fucking company. So here we go. The Tata Group is India's mega conglomerate. Think steel, software, hotels, airlines, and it was founded in 1868. Huge company. They reacquired Air India, and is this? You guys are like, I'm tuning in for the Yosemite segment. She's wearing a fucking beanie today and a North Face tee, and she's talking about granola and REI, like, and shitting in the woods. Like, I thought that's what we were gonna do today, and here she is talking about a plane crash. That's what you get here, okay? I am a multifaceted woman. This is one of the things I love about myself. I'm everything, everywhere, all at once, whatever that movie was. Like, I am interested in so many things. I'm going to talk about whatever I'm into. I mean, just go on the ride with me. Like, I know you're having fun. If you're still listening, you're still here. You're still having fun. So they reacquired Air India in 2022 after state ownership. Since then, I'll finish this up in like 2 seconds. Sorry. It's very tragic. But it's breaking news and I can't help myself. Since then, they've managed multiple carriers and placed massive aircraft orders, but growth pains remain. So ongoing struggles, operational inefficiency, supply chain delays, and retrofitting planes and lingering public perception issues, though reconstructing over Wuhan, I don't know what that is underway. That's financialtimes.com. So we talked about the B check. They were reacquired by the Tata Group, and they're just fucking pumping out new jets. They're like, we got to get these 500 new jets in this Air India circulation, no matter what, no matter if they don't pass the safety issue or checks, or no matter how much we're stretching things out here and doing it on the cheap or not being thorough or whatever. They're like, we got this new fleet that needs, I don't understand that. Like, I don't know. So, I think there's just too many people on the planet and too many people traveling. It's just too much. There's like too many people, not enough planes, something like that. There's some sort of issue. This should not be continuing to happen. So Boeing versus Air India, who's at fault? Boeing is supporting the investigation, but there's no clear blame yet. One TikTok commenter, I love it. One TikTok commenter suggested skipping a B check and overweight loading, but there's no evidence yet. So some people are theorizing that they packed on too many suitcases. And there's some like racist shit happening about like body weight, people on this plane being, believe, mostly Indian. I don't know. There's some shit about that. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Actually, there's a list of like who was on the plane. I think it was majority Indian people. So it's just really awful. Like, and I don't feel like that was a fast death. When you watch the video, and again, sorry for being insensitive, but something about it was like, if you're going from 625 to 0 and you just kind of do it wasn't like a nosedive. And I would want to, if I was in a plane and it was crashing, I would want a nosedive. Okay. That just makes sense. It's the quickest. It's you're evaporating pretty quickly, but this just looked like a grace. I mean, the guy survived. He walked away from it. So I feel like it was a lot of burning alive. I don't want to think about that. Anyways, aviation experts almost unanimously say it's very unlikely the plane was overweight or misconfigured. Aircraft can take off on one engine and remain licensed for overweight compensation. So apparently they're designed where you can have engine failure on takeoff and continue to climb. That's how they're supposed to be like designed, or that's how they're supposed to work. Science, engineering. I'm not an expert. Just that's what I was listening to an aviation expert talk about it. And that's when he said a more plausible theory, a dual engine failure, possibly from fucking bird strikes. Dude, the birds. That's one thing I get so anxious about with flying to Washington. There's always migrating snow geese and like swans and shit. There's so many fucking birds up there going from Siberia to, I don't know, the equator. They like do this migration thing, and it's just a lot when you're in a plane in Washington, just constant. That's what goes through my mind. Again, I need to be completely, I'm not romanticizing. Like there's this new thing where it's like pretty obvious that social media influencers, a lot of like female social media influencers, I'm not going to name names, are just like glorifying alcoholism, or like drinking all the time and being drunk all the time. They're always like pouring martinis and glasses of wine on camera, and they're just like always drunk, always blackout. I'm just saying, like, when I get on a plane, I'm not romanticizing it. It's not fun, but like I am a mess, and it's not fun, and it's bad. And I wish I had more resilience, and I don't. I've done a whole thing on my plane and flight anxiety. Okay. So blah, 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 TLDR for your show. This is ChatGPT telling me like, hey, talk about this on your podcast. I love chat. We're in a domestic partnership at this point. The Tata Group is steering Air India's revival, not Boeing, but Air India is still restructuring, and still has restructuring and efficiency issues. Boeing's fucked. Boeing isn't off the hook, but early signs point more toward engine failure, blah, blah, blah. So it's Boeing's fault. Like, I just love that it's a Boeing, you know? What's the quote? If it's a Boeing, I'm not going. Here I am flying to Washington on a Boeing 737 in a month. So can't wait. That's the update on, that's like the breaking news. Another plane crash. Very sad. What is going on? I think we can just move on from that, because and set the scene and get into this episode for real. Let me put the sunglasses back on. So how are you doing? Happy June 12th. Happy episode 402. Talking about a plane crash. We're halfway through the year and they're still crashing. I'm still flying. I had a thought. I had a shower thought. Hold on. I gotta fix. I have a smudge on my sunglasses. I had a shower thought because I just booked my flight last night, and this is my paranoia. And I was like, fuck, booked the flight last night. Woke up to a plane crash notification. Like, fuck, And then I'm second guessing the airport I'm flying into because it's a smaller airport. Then I'm second guessing my flight time's at 7. It takes off at 7 a.m. Honestly, I don't think this smaller airport has a bar. So these are the things I'm processing. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. My flight there is it's 7 p.m. My flight home is 7 a.m. So I'm just going to white knuckle it the whole way. I mean, I'm not excited. Question for the podcast today, or the audience, question for you. How have you overcome your flight anxiety? Or do you just suck it up? Or do you just not have it? I never had it. Like when I was talking about those flights to Gatwick, flying to London, I was so young and naive and or I was just in my nothing to lose era. I have everything to lose now. I have so many routes. That's how I feel. The older I get, the more you have to lose. But when you're young, you're just I'm 20. I'm just on a plane. I'm flying to Europe. Nothing to worry about. And now I'm just stressed out about every little thing. And it's probably all in my head. We need to move on. I don't like this topic. So let me set the scene. Told you about the beanie. I told you about the t-shirt. We're going to have a conversation about this North Face t-shirt, by the way. It's kind of fun, or I think it's fun. Not yet, but I'm drinking an iced espresso, Breville Barista Express iced espresso. Shout out mom. That was our wedding gift, one of them for my mom. She gave us probably the most wedding gifts out of anyone, to be honest. Shout out. I know you're listening. She's probably mowing the lawn right now. So I'm drinking a Breville Barista Express. I'm just shouting out my coffee machine because I love it. Iced coffee. It is 12:49 p.m. June 12th. How's your June? How's your summer? Okay. We've got the Yeti water bottle with the National Park stickers. We've got a Diet Dr. Pepper cream soda, a Dr. Pepper established in 1885, Dr. Pepper zero sugar cream soda. Diet Dr. Pepper zero cream soda. Excuse me. I'm still caking the face with the Wet n Wild Essence 5-in-1 Essence Primer. It's $5. Get it at your local CVS or Walmart. Walmart, not sponsored. This is going to be me the whole episode. I talk about this every week. I don't want a shiny upper lip for my podcast clips, so I'm constantly powdering on my show. That's just something you get to enjoy while you watch me. Go to YouTube or Spotify to watch. This is a video and audio podcast. I'll do my plugs in a second. We've got MAC syrup, or what is this? MAC syrup, Luster Glass lipstick, my favorite shade, and Ulta Beauty Pumped Up Pout lip gloss in the shade. Doesn't have it. It's kind of like NARS Orgasm, but not. It's in the shade. Who cares? This was a Target purchase. And now the thing about Target that gets me every single time is the new Ulta section. It's like Ulta inside Target. You know what I mean? It's isn't there a Sephora in Macy's or something? What am I remembering? But I'll do my shopping. I start with the produce. I work down the aisles. I get my drinks. I get my whatever. I get my ground beef. It's never good. I just feel weird about buying meat and produce at Target. Something about it feels like it's not real food. But I do my little grocery shop, make my way through the what's it called? The cleaning supply section, check out the gardening section, the candles, the homewares, do a little peruse at the clothing section. I'm always checking out what, the new workout sets and bikinis they have. They're always kind of it's so funny. You see it and you're oh, that's cute. But it's just how do I explain Target clothes? It's too, I don't know. It's very They're cute. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just like, maybe I'm just like too snooty for it. I think I am officially too snooty for Target clothing. It's just too like, okay, this is like so specific. No, I'm not going to get down the rabbit hole. Like the women's, okay, the athleisure is cute. Some of it's cute. The bikinis can be cute. Like some of them are really cute. They're getting better. The bikinis at Target are getting better. I don't know if they're doing the G-strings yet because they always had the full butt bikini bottoms. So I don't know if they've converted or if they've, graduated and realized that, hey, it's 2025. Everyone's wearing a thong butt swimsuit now. Most people are. So I'm not sure if the bikinis have gotten better. I haven't really looked. But like just from what I see, like walking through the store, I'm like, oh, they're cute, whatever. They're always out here in San Diego because it's always, bikini season. It's bikini season all the time everywhere. That's your life hack. That's your fitness tip. I don't care if you live in Antarctica. It's bikini season all year round. Just keep telling yourself that. It'll keep you off the off the fucking processed shit and bad food and the fucking, okay, cool. This is a health and wellness podcast. Ugh. So, but the women's clothing section Target, it's just something I fight. I'm 30 now, right? But something I fight is that I don't know how to be not honest, or I don't know how to lie to you. Okay. And I don't know how to not be judgmental I mean this with love. Everyone has a different preference with like their style and what they feel best in. And not everyone wants to be like super showy all the time. I don't know. It's just like, I fight being in my 30s, and this is like my current struggle with my clothing. Cause you guys know I've been using ChatGPT to rework my closet and to like get rid of stuff that doesn't look good on me. It's been helping a lot. Like it's helping me find the best, most flattering silhouettes and get rid of things that don't necessarily flatter my body. So I'm really into like Kibbe body types. I've talked about it, color analysis. I feel like every episode I'm like talking about my revelations about Kibbe style aesthetics or body types and personal style. So whatever. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh, Target. It's just like I struggle. So my current thing is like, I know I'm getting older, but I just don't want to look like a frumpy fucking PTA mom ever. And I feel like that's what the Target clothes are. They're just so like at what point do people just go like, yep, I'm going to wear that baggy boat neck, striped across the boob, wide cut sweater and like mom jeans that give you a fupa. Like, I don't like at what point, like, I get it. It's comfortable, but it's just like not hot anymore. It's like, it's not that I want to be hot I want to be hot forever. Like I'm going to own that. I want to say like, I always want to feel my best, look my best. And to me, that's like feeling when I put clothes on, it's like sexiness, hotness. Like I know that is this is not good Jacqueline is not, people are just giving Sydney Sweeney some shit about her new like bathwater soap and how this is like all the women in the world right now are trying to take down the patriarchy. We're trying to take it down. Like we're trying to tear this shit down. And I'm for that. Like, well, I'll go on my little monologue about that in a second, because I do have a segment about little patriarchy, trad wifey segment. But Sydney Sweeney's like selling bath soap, or her bath water is in this soap she's selling. And I guess there was an interview with her and she was talking about it, and all the women are like, oh my God, this isn't helping our cause. This is just, we're going back 50 years every time Sydney Sweeney opens her mouth. It's just not helping, feminism right now. And it's not progressing this. It's taking us back in time. And a lot of women open their mouths now, and it's just like, oh shit, like we're still, whoring ourselves out and being, the typical bimbo version of ourselves because of the fucking patriarchy. And it's like, so I try to toe that line as best I can. I really actually don't. I don't toe it at all. I don't know. We'll get there. But maybe after kids, like I won't give a shit. I think that might be what happens. Like your body changes and you're like, I just want to feel comfortable all the time. So you don't. But I'm like, my husband didn't fucking marry that. My husband didn't marry that. I forgot to do my plugs. Shit. Fuck. I want to put a pin on my husband didn't marry that and do another little thing about this. And then we'll move on to my Yosemite trip and all of that. So please hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening right now. I'm on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Breaker, Overcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Is Overcast even a thing? Or Breaker? I always say that. I say them. I feel like they're like old timey now, or no one uses those platforms. But please hit that subscribe button wherever you're streaming this podcast, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is a video and audio podcast. Check out my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Jacqueline Monroe. And finally, if you want to support the show, patreon.com/TJMS. It's my little subscription service for $5 a month. Patreon.com/TJMS. Go check it out. All right. So my husband didn't marry that. Let's take that pin out and continue on. So we were out. God damn it. I'm so like, being a woman is it's just a lot sometimes. And I have so much like, as much as I talk my shit about like, okay, I'm not talking my shit. What I'm saying is that we had a moment we moved into this new neighborhood, and there's this amazing community here with a ton of young families and kids and new moms and dads. And it's just like the best feeling. Everyone's like walking their dog at the park, and like people like get together on Friday nights. There's this spot where there's like live music and golf, and it's like super fun and young. And it's just such a good feeling, especially because we're newlyweds, and you look around and you're just like, this is the fucking dream. Like I pinch myself every time we drive through our neighborhood, because I'm like, this is out of a movie. This doesn't feel real. Like, I can't believe this is my life and this is where we live. We're just so grateful and so excited about our community. Anyways, we had a moment. We're like at this like Friday night thing, and there's millions of kids running everywhere. There's moms and dads, and we clocked, and I'm just going to say it, like we clocked like, am I an asshole? I am a fucking asshole. Okay. It was just like, I'm looking across the way, and there's like hot husband, super fit, hot. And I get it. Like the mom, she's probably postpartum, so she's gained a little weight, whatever. But like it was just like and then just the overweightness of it all. And like, I'm not saying, oh my God, I'm so mean. It just, even if they had like older kids, like out of the postpartum era and like older, it was a lot of like frumpy moms and hot dads. And I'm like, they probably didn't marry that. And I take that shit seriously. Like, I really am pro, like, never let yourself go as a woman. And never, like, you're going to ebb and flow with your weight, especially postpartum, especially when you're obviously pregnant and, like, you're maybe going through a lot. Maybe you're having a era of a tragedy happened, and you're just, like, not taking care of yourself because you're grieving, or, like, whatever the case may be. You're stressed out from your work and your kids and all the things. Like, I'm obviously, like, I'm aware of that, but I'm just it was just such an obvious thing where I'm like, what the fuck? All these guys are like hot as shit, super fit, super ripped. Corey and I were just like, we were both like taken aback. We're both like, wow. Like, and that makes me like have a big heart for women, and how like, you know, you have the kids, you're married, your husband's like staying fit, and you're the one who's like not anymore. And you're like, I don't know. It was just like a hard watch. I was like, I feel like such an asshole right now. I mean it out of love. Like, why did it, I don't know. I'm fucking Target. What was I talking about? The frumpy clothes. And now I feel like a bitch. And now I'm like halfway through my episode. Just, you know, I know I'm not full of shit, because I just got a text from one of my best friends. And I think she appreciates, or based on the text, it's like, I think I felt very like validated, honestly, by her, because sometimes I feel like an asshole. I feel mean. I feel like I am too, like, my standards are too high, especially around like being a woman. I'm too like hoity-toity, whatever. And like, I care too much about my appearance, and I'm super vain and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like unapologetic about it. And I feel like that comes across like really wrong, and like there's something wrong with me because of that. Basically, her text was like validating the fuck out of me being this way, and how she like couldn't turn to anyone but me because of the way I am. And I feel like we've talked about it as girlfriends. Like, she literally was like, I was jealous of you. Like, you won. I always wish I could have, done what you did. And I had the discipline and the grit and the perseverance or whatever. And that was so real. It was such a real moment in our friendship. And just, so as much as I'm like, I second guess, because I never want to come across like I'm an asshole. Like I'm being super mean towards, women, especially in this world we live in where it's just like we fucking do it all. And then we're expected, what is it? Like whatever. You guys all know. It's like the pressure and just the expectations, and especially around our appearance, and how much that is such a pinnacle and a focus of our, like my generation, especially growing up with MySpace and then Facebook and then Instagram and then TikTok and then your cell phone, always taking selfies, and everyone's trying to take a picture all the time and post it of you. And like, you want to do that of yourself, and it's how the world perceives you. And so it's like so much emphasis on our appearance. So that comes easily for me because I think I obviously am God-given, or God blessed me. And I also put in a lot of work, and I value it. So I spend a ton of time on it. But I do have a lot of empathy and a heart for people that struggle. And like my friend was basically saying to me, and that has been her struggle. She like turned to me and she was like, she like admires that in me. So that makes me feel validated and better about myself when I make these crazy comments that are very honest and probably a little mean, but like, we're just like, I don't want to say it about these men. I'm like, these hot dads. I'm just like, fuck. It's just like a lot of like baggy t-shirts, biker shorts, no makeup, just bad, like ponytails. Like no one's like, and then the thing is like, we'll be at the same place. And then there's the mom who's like popping off and like still puts in that effort. And it's like, I don't know. That's the kind of woman I am and will probably be, especially with kids. Like I just value it too much. And that's the thing. I just care too fucking much about staying on point, and sue me. You know what I mean? Like I've been, whatever. Maybe that is super shallow and stupid, but like I also live in Southern California, and I've been brainwashed by this Instagram world I live in and these fucking Instagram thoughts and baddies. And I've kind of become one in my own right. And we're going to talk about Yosemite. And I feel God damn it. Did not want to do that on this episode today. We did it, and I don't edit and I don't delete, and we keep it moving, and I'm going to powder my upper lip because I care too much about my appearance and being shiny on my fucking, my my clips. Fuck. So, okay. So let's take a moment of pause and give ourselves grace. Forgive ourselves for saying our inside thoughts out loud on my podcast. And this was probably a segment where if you're listening right now, maybe you're a new listener, maybe you just came across my podcast, you're probably like, this is why they should make podcast equipment more expensive. And I get it. But the thing about being a podcast host, and I think the number one, the most interesting people are the ones like to listen to, are the ones that say the inside thoughts that everyone's thinking out loud, and they just say, fuck it. And so I just did that. And I just get really insecure about, because everything is about girlhood now. Everything is about women supporting women. Like, let's tear down the patriarchy, girls supporting girls, girlfriends, the matriarchy over the patriarchy, like girls. So anytime I catch myself saying any slight ounce of negativity towards women and calling them like frumpy, and like those Target outfits are frumpy, and those hot dads are like with their frumpy wives at this thing with their kid. Like, I just feel, you guys, it's just like I don't know. Should I own it? I feel like owning it is even, I can't own it. Like, I don't want to own it because I feel bad about it. So anyways, moving on, let's take a moment of pause, take a breath. I'm wired. How many shots did I do in this? 4. I'm a quad espresso over ice chick with, sometimes I do cold foam on top. I'll get into my Starbucks order. I'm going to do a tier list, my road trip snacks tier list when I talk about our Yosemite road trip. Let me see. Let me get back on the wheels here. Okay, so like this is like weekly stuff, things that have happened this week. My sleep score. My sleep score was 50 2 days ago. It was 86 last. My sleep score was 86. I feel like the sunglasses are throwing me off. Just should give it a break for a little bit. My sleep score was 86 last night and 50 the night before. I was up from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep. I think it's because I took one of the supplements I was taking. I asked ChatGPT and it was like, hey, yeah, like your body's in like full detox mode. You didn't really have a big dinner and you have barely any glucose in your body. So it's like up. So it was like, go eat a piece of your sourdough you baked. And I was like, okay, like it was, and then I ate it. And then it was like, now you're going to get into that like restful, like like the bread's going to like give your brain serotonin or whatever and make you drowsy and sleepy. And then it was having me box breathe. And then I started doing that. And then I was like super rested and woke up and I was supposed to podcast and I was like, nope, got to keep sleeping. And I took a nap from, you guys are like so like in depth about, like, I'm telling you about like my sleep score and my, whatever. I took a nap for a long time and it boosted it and I felt better. And my day was like, it was like 2 p.m. to like 9 p.m. That was like my work day because I just was dead. The whole morning was like awful. I hate having broken sleep like that. And then of course I was on my phone and anyway, so I had a really good sleep score. I worked out this morning. People have been asking me about my workout routine. Like I've been asked about what's my recent, like a lot of you have been asking about, you know how like people say that and then no one's actually asking. I actually have gotten questions about workout related stuff, like my workout routine and my eyebrows. What else? My eyebrows. Someone wanted to know if I had them microbladed or like tattooed or whatever. Like what I do to my eyebrows and then my workout routine. So like the eyebrows are just, they're on me and they're not I don't know. They're mine. They're dark. I sometimes dye them darker. I tweeze them. I tweeze the ends. And then my workout routine right now is probably 3 heavy glute days a week. And then a couple spin classes, a couple rest days. Sometimes I just sauna and stretch. Just depends. But I mean, if you see me in the gym, 99% of the time, I'm going heavy hip thrust to hack squat machine. I'm doing like the RDLs on it or the good mornings. And then I do Bulgarian split squats on the Smith machine. Heavy. I did 45s today and died. And then I do the abductor machine. And then I'm so sweaty right now. Oh my God. And then I do, what's my other thing I do? Abductor. Oh, and then like cable kickbacks, or I'll do as like a final accessory thing. Like I keep it very simple and mostly like compound, like heavy lifts. I don't really mess with dumbbells ever. I don't like anything that's like annoying. And I feel like dumbbells to me are so annoying. That's why I use a Smith machine. I've gotten it down. So that's usually my glute workout routine. And I mean, I've been consistently lifting glutes specifically for like with no goal. Like I don't follow a program. I don't really track like I know I should be doing like progressive overload, and I have been upping my weight recently, but I don't like follow a plan. Probably for the last 4 years, I've consistently lifted. And before that, it was like pandemic. I was walking. I was just doing cardio and like at-home workouts. So anyways, that's my workout routine. Corey and I watched the Titan sub-documentary last night. That was like my entire episode last week. And Netflix just came out with one. And I guess it's different than the Discovery/Max Implosion Titan sub-documentary. Because I was watching it. I was waiting for this journalist to come on and get interviewed, and he never did. I talked about him last week. I'm forgetting his name, but so Netflix just came out with their Titan documentary, and it was fucking great. Like it was so good. And I'm just shaking my head the whole time. Like I cannot believe it. I don't wish it, like it's tragic that lives were lost, but like I wish it was the guy in it by himself, because he did some of the missions or some of the test dives in the sub by himself. And I mean, just the sounds. I don't know if you guys watched it, but like it's literally like those sounds were so scary. And it's like he's just like, yeah, submarines make, or submersibles. It's not a submarine. It can't drive, or it can't like ascend and descend on its own by its own power. I talked about it last week. Like it's a submersible. It uses like air to like come up or whatever. I don't know. But the sounds, like he's going down and he's just like, yeah, like there's acoustic monitoring devices that the engineer recommended they placed in it so that they could hear if the carbon fiber was breaking as they got deeper. And so that was put in place by the engineer. And then eventually the guy's like, I think they just like took it away after dive 80. They like stopped like using that as data, or I don't know if they removed, I don't think they could have, I don't know, but they ignored it. And so it showed like on dive 80, the acoustics were like crazy, as you know, down at like 3,000 meters or whatever it was. Like it was always around 3,000 meters when shit was not working. And it was like, this thing's about to bust. And, pause. And then on dive like 81, 82, it was like exponentially more and more. And it's like, he just like looked the other way. That was the whole premise. It was just like a man in his ego looking the other way, doing whatever he wants. Classic, like narcissistic, egomaniac, psychopath CEO. I've worked for them. Like I've worked for two that I can count. I can count two with an identical personality type to Stockton Rush. It's just, and I can sniff it out. And I wonder, like his employees were picking up on stuff, and they eventually were all like quitting, and he was firing all of them. But if you've never experienced working, or if you don't have experience working for someone like that, because they're extremely charismatic, when they talk, they're so, you believe the words coming out of their mouth because they have so much conviction, and they're so confident. Like when they speak, they're so, they just sound smart. They sound like they know what they're talking about. They sound like everything's going to be okay. And in this case, it was like, he was just like doing whatever he wanted and doing it on the cheap. He was cutting corners. I mean, it was awful watching it. I was like, this fucking asshole. Like, and these poor people are just honestly doing their job and raising concerns. And he's just like, you're fired. And so it exploded in June of 2023, and 5 people died. And there's a documentary on Netflix on it. It's great. Really well done. I'm trying to think if there's any other highlights from that. We watched it last night. It's like a 2-hour documentary. What else is going on? I want to do my little monologue here. God, another like rant thing. And then we'll talk about Yosemite. I'm so sorry. I'm on my little soapbox today, but Corey has the dogs. He took him to work. I don't know why I wrote that. So we came back from our trip to Yosemite with no food in the house. And we ordered a Domino's pizza. We got the new stuffed crust, I feel like putting my sunglasses on again. No, because when I do this monologue, I feel like it's going to be not the right vibe. I don't want my brand to be too confused. ChatGPT's like, hey, bitch, you're confusing your audience. Your brand is kind of, it's like, I'm just like, no, but like, I'm everything. I'm multifaceted. I can be it all, and I am it all, and I do it all. And I'm good at a lot of things, and I'm interested in a lot of things. And I like the glam, and I like the hiking, and I like the working out, and I like the sourdough, and I like the trad thing, and I like being a podcast host, and I like being funny, and I like being entertaining and popping off and swearing and being brash and tacky and obnoxious and annoying. And I like doing that influencer voice on my TikToks, and I like being a basic bitch, and I like Starbucks, and I'm returning to God. I'm like all these Republicans or whatever. They're like, what's with all the conservatives? Like, or like people just like finding Christ now. And I feel like everyone's feeling the same thing. Like I've talked about a million times on the show. It's like, it feels good in times like these and in this era of life we're all in right now to like have be connected to a higher power and like feel like to like go to a place that like puts you in that like reverent, I don't know, like that reflective, like, not religious mode. What's the mode? Guys, I was born and raised Catholic, okay? Catholic church, confirmed in the Catholic faith. I've seen the Pope. I've been all over Europe at all the like sites. I've seen Jesus's fucking manger and shit and the shroud. And I've, okay. So I'm Catholic, but then I like dipped during college and really haven't been back since. Okay. I'm 30 and I'm like, God feels right now in these times. And so a lot of conservatives, I saw this headline that was like, Joe Rogan's going to church now or something. So I feel like there's something to that. There's like a collective like shift towards Jesus Christ. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to need Jesus getting on a plane now. Like that's your only, like if you don't have Jesus in your life getting on a plane in 2025, if you don't have something like that, like, oof, it's going to be rough. So like I feel like for me, it's like a lot of that now. It's like, I need Jesus, like just to get on a plane. I have to return to God because of that. And I'm going to have nightmares tonight about my flight to Washington. Guys, I'm not even going to say this one, Angel. Fuck me. I'm not even putting that out there. Dear God, please keep me safe in the sky every time I go into a plane for the rest of my life. Knocking on wood. If the dogs were here, they would think this is someone knocking on the door and they'd be barking and this would totally ruin the episode in the moment. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. So I was talking about God and now I'm talking about, what was I going to say? Oh, we had no food in the fridge. We ordered Domino's. We got that thick stuffed garlic Parmesan new Domino's crust. Corey's always talking about like, the cheese stuffed crust. I love the cheese. I'm like, that's a Pizza Hut thing. Like, I'm pretty sure that's always been Pizza Hut's thing. So now Domino's rolled that out. We got it. We just got like a pepperoni cheese stuffed crust. And then we got a sausage mushroom regular crust. And I ate 8 pieces, I think, over the course of the night. I kept going back to it. I stood over the fridge or like in the fridge with a couple slices. And then I put a couple on a paper towel and walked into the living room. Corey was watching basketball or some shit. Shout out Pacers. OKC. Who do we care about? I don't care about any of these teams. I guess the Pacers are the underdogs. Anyways, he's watching basketball. I'm sitting there with my paper towel and my pizza and I'm just living my life. And I'm like, thank God for my GLP-1 medication. Still on it, guys. I'm still on it. I do put in that work in that gym. Okay. I do put in a lot of work, but I am actively on a GLP-1 medication and I ate 8 pieces of pizza and I just feel like am I an addict? Is it like I'm addicted to my GLP-1 because it's such a cheat code? Like it kind of is. Like it just does its thing and your insulin isn't spiking and you're like not eating as much and you're like eating pizza and you're like, I'm still staying. Corey's always like, nothing sticks to you. Like you just can eat whatever you want. And I'm like, that's not always been the case. It has been over the last like 6 months because I'm on this GLP-1 thing. But like, anyways, I enjoyed my pizza. We watched basketball and all is well. We didn't have any food. Back to that. I went to Trader Joe's. I did a restock. Picked up a bouquet of peonies, hydrangeas, and an olive tree. They're selling $10.99 olive trees at Trader Joe's currently. Picked one of those up. Restocked the fridge. Yeah, that was my week. This is like a long-winded intro. Fuck. What else happened at Trader Joe's? Did I talk to the cashiers? What did we talk about? They always like flirt with you. I think they asked me like, oh, they're like, who's all this or what's all this meat for? And I'm like, they always ask me because I always buy a shit ton of meat. I was like, oh, my husband's trying to eat 200 grams of protein a day, which is true because he's always trying to get his protein in. But that was that was a high bill. Groceries are, they didn't have the egg shortage sign this week, which was nice. They've had that for a few months, like 1 egg carton per household. But I'm trying to think of what was just so steep this week, like grocery wise. Like, what was our fucking dog food is so expensive. The thing is like, I don't think groceries. Okay, I overshop. Like, I know I do. I know I get too much, but I like to have a surplus. I like to have options with groceries, and we eat a lot. Like, I cook a lot. We eat a lot. I like to have snacks. I like to have things on hand. Anyways, but the dog food is just, once you go fresh human grade dog food and you see how happy your dogs are, it's so hard to go back to kibble. It's so hard. And like, that's the thing. I'm like, well, we don't have kids. So I guess this is what it would feel like to like buy stuff for kids every month. Like this, how much it would like cost, probably way more, but, I always get a coupon at PetSmart. We used to have a subscription to the farmer's dog, but now we're doing the Nom Nom. I just like go in PetSmart, and I always end up buying a toy and a bandana and a tchotchke and a treat and a little this and a little, it's like $300. No, it's like a week of dog food is like, with Nom Nom and my coupon, it's like $100 for both dogs. And they're just the dogs, the new thing with the Jimmy and Louie is the sourdough. Jimmy is so addicted to sourdough. And I don't know how. I asked Chad if it was toxic. Fucking chat. I hate saying it. I feel like a streamer. Chat. But apparently it's like, obviously don't feed them raw dough, but I grew up on a farm. My sister like hates when I say that. I've gotten shit from my family. They're like, the way you talk about your childhood on your podcast is like not what it is. And I'm like, but anyone I show pictures of my childhood to, anyone I talk, like we weren't farmers. I grew up in farmland next to dairies my whole life. There were fields on all 4 quadrants of my home growing up. No neighbors, like okay, like a field away. We had like every kind of animal. We had like sheep, goats, chickens, bunnies, horses, ponies, like the whole thing, right? So I'm like, to me, that's like I grew up on a farm. Okay. I'm just going to own it. Makes me who I am. I'm very appreciative of my roots and my ballerina farm upbringing. I was raised just like her children, and minus my mom being an actual trad wife. My mom was an executive and fucking wore a suit every day and made that bread for our family. Okay. So shout out. But lost my train of thought. God damn it. Oh, the dogs are addicted to sourdough. Yeah, I asked chat back to that, and it's like, don't feed them raw dough. Oh, I was saying I grew up on a farm. I'm doing air quotes for my family watching that is annoyed that I say farm. I grew up out, whatever. My grandpa had like a tree farm, and I remember we would go to the bread store, and he had this like deal with the bread store, the local bakery. I think it was called like Frang or something. And he had a Suburban, and we would load that thing up with like the entire back of his Suburban would be full of day-old bread from this bakery. And we would just feed his ducks and his animals. Like we would just fucking chuck that shit over, like the loaf of bread. We'd rip it out of the package and just throw it at the ducks. And so I grew up feeding bread to animals. And so I feel like the sourdough thing is fine because it's 3 ingredients. It's homemade. The dogs are addicted. It's to the point now where like I can't go into the kitchen without them following me like little ducklings. Like they're just like right behind me, hoping they get a little piece of bread. And they're so obsessed with it. Like they just sit there and give me those puppy eyes, and they're just like, please, sir, can you give me please, ma'am, can you give me some bread, please? So cute. So anyways, I've been gardening, making sourdough. This is where I'm going to get off or go on my rant and get this off my chest. This whole like thing about patriarchy, trad wife, fucking whatever. Okay. So gardening, let me just, any notes on gardening or sourdough? I gave our friend some starter. I'm going over to their house this weekend. I'm going to bring him a loaf. And I'm at that phase where people are asking me for starter, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, gardening wise, I don't know. I'm trying to keep my geraniums alive. My mom came over and she went to Home Depot and we picked up a bunch of geraniums and she planted them for us. And she told me that you have to like take care of them, obviously. Like the thing is we got geraniums, Corey and I, when we moved into this house. I love geraniums. If you've ever been to Italy, they're everywhere. I'm like obsessed with red geraniums. Okay. It's just very like Euro. It fits the vibe of our house, the Spanish style, the whole thing. So I'm like obsessed. Do I have a lisp today? I'm going to put on more lip gloss. Obsessed with geraniums. And last year we planted them and put them in hanging baskets because I thought it was like a vibe. And they just dried out in the sun. We like couldn't water them. The hose wouldn't reach. And so they died. And my mom was telling me you have to like, after they bloom and die, you just pinch off the dead part, which makes sense. And then they'll just keep growing all the time until the winter. So that's been my gardening, I don't know, like thing lately is the geraniums. And then I put, okay, not to bring up ChatGPT again, okay? But like, what else like literally it's our life now, okay? I'm paying for that premium subscription. It got to the point where I was sending it too much stuff where it was like, you need to wait until a certain time tonight I can ask unlimited questions. I don't think I can upload unlimited photos, but that pro subscription to ChatGPT is like $200 a month. So I was like, I'm not that like desperate for help. Okay. Like I can wait an hour. So anyways, but it was having me put hydrogen peroxide, and my sister would love this because she's like in her house plant era, like full on. She's like obsessed with house plants, but it was having me put hydrogen peroxide and cinnamon in my soil to kill off these little bugs that are crawling around. They're like these annoying. Anyways, so I'm getting all these like plant tips, like house plant, outdoor plant tips from chat. It's just been great. It's been fun. So, oh man. Okay. Let me just like crack my neck before I talk about this because, and if you're a regular listener, you're like, girl, you don't need to explain yourself. Like, we get you, we see you, we're supportive of you, and we're inspired by you, and we actually like admire this about you. So don't feel like you need to defend yourself right now and like get this off your chest because you're fine. And this is probably just you overthinking and being in your head and trying to control your perception and your image to your audience and the people that come across your podcast. You never want to come across blah, blah, blah. It's this whole like, it's probably related to my childhood or some sort of thing about not ever feeling like always feeling like no one likes me. I'm the outcast, girls don't like me because of whatever. And, this is why I can't make friends. And I heard this thing though, that's really sad about growing up in a traumatic or not traumatic, like in a chaotic home like I did, or like, it's really sad. This is when it comes to making friends. I heard this thing that was like, other kids could sense that. Like the groups of like the popular kids. And I don't want to like do any shade right now or like say anything like whatever. I understand. Okay. I was always sold this narrative that like, oh, all these happy, snappy families that are well off and, they drive the nicest cars and they have the nicest houses and they're, they look like everything's perfect. Da, da, da. I've always been sold this narrative that like, no, like they are divorced or like, and that's bad. Or like the husband beats a wife, or like there's drama, or it's not as good as it looks, and da da da. Which I understand, like that in a lot of cases, I'm sure that was true, or some cases, but like that's not everyone, right? Like I have met, and I'm married to someone where like I'm talking about abuse, okay? They didn't have abuse like in their house, so I know that exists. I know that's. Like there are people out there with like normal, healthy childhoods where there's no chaos abuse. yelling, fighting, screaming, alcoholism, like rage, scary shit, running, or, you know, like I don't even want to get into it. I really don't talk about that part of my life on here, which probably would be good for you guys to know at this point. 400 episodes in, I could get more, but it's just like dirty laundry, you know, and I've just kind of always set that boundary where I'm not going to deep dive into it, but I'll allude to it. Right. But, when it comes to being a kid and you go to school and you're like all these popular kids that you want to be friends with are all friends with each other and their parents are friends with each other and everyone's just like hanging out all the time. And they're like, it seems like they make friends easily and everyone gets along. It's like a flow it's easy for them. And I've witnessed like my husband, for example, like Corey is just like so natural at like, he doesn't have a complex and an insecurity about like, he just connects. And there's no block, right? And I have a block. And this is what sucks about my life right now is I want to build my community and my back to the girl thing, like find my girlfriends and be around that all the time and like have this like flourishing, amazing, because I love being around women and like my friends I just went to Arizona with, like that was so good for my soul and I want more of that. But there's like this block I have, right, that I'm working on. I'm getting a lot better at just saying fuck it and putting myself out there and just initiating friendship and all of that. But I noticed with like Corey, for example, it's just like, it's like flow and it's like no big deal. He just like connects. It's just like so natural and easy and there's no issue there. And so I feel like that's been the case his whole life, right? Because that's just how it's been for him. But kids can sense, back to what I was saying, when you go to school and some shit went down the night before, maybe it happened that morning and you're like, you know, you're always going to be, I feel like energetically, like not as, if you're feeling like that, if you're beaten down that day going to school, like kids can sense that and they don't want to be like, it's not like, you're not like in the mood to like be open and warm and like you're just trying to like get through the day, you know? And so I think that was a constant from elementary school all the way through high school in my life. And I think I had a lot of mental health issues from my childhood and insecurity and like debilitating insecurity where I felt like such a loser and I hated myself. I was like, I feel like no one likes me. And meanwhile, most people liked me. Like I just had this weird block that made me closed off probably. And I had walls up and I was skittish, you know? I just was super insecure about my personality, myself and all the things. And I didn't even want people to go over to my house, you know, and I didn't want to invite anyone over. And so anyways, I don't know how I got here. Shit. How did we even get here? She's wearing a beanie and a North Face top to talk about her trip to Yosemite today. And what have we talked about? Childhood trauma, plane crashes. I've shit on frumpy moms. Typical episode, right? Just a typical day in the life listening to my show. But how did I get on this topic about like, oh, I heard this thing about when you grow up in that, you go to school, like people sense that. So there's like this barrier about, I don't know. How did I get here? Like I actually like, usually I remember how I got here and I like kind of don't right now. Being perceived and me and me, you listening right now and you being supportive, like Jacqueline, you don't need to explain yourself. Like we get you, we see you, you're fine. Like that. And I said that this whole monologue I'm about to go on is probably related to childhood. And then I went on to that little thing. So, anyways, I like wrote this down. Is this corny if I read it or should I just say it? And I feel like you guys have heard me say this kind of a similar thing like this a million times. I guess my POV, let me like really like okay, my POV about being like is Corey calling? Oh, he's FaceTiming me. Fuck. Great timing. I'm on the podcast.
Oh, Okay, I just wanted to show you.
Show me the doggies and then go, because I'm about to say something really deep. Oh, there's Jimmy. There's Louie. Hi, Jimmy. Did they fix your thing at the dentist?
I'm going tomorrow.
Oh, you are? Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. Have fun. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Love you.
Bye. Love
All
you.
right, bye. He has this like dental thing. This like, should I just tell you guys what happened? I feel like it's not that big of a deal. Why do men, like grown ass men, like still wrestle and fight each other? Like that's what I'm gonna, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna say he like got into a scuffle, but like, let's just say he got into a stupid scuffle with his like best friend. Like a funny thing. It wasn't like they're being nasty towards each other or anything. Hands were thrown and his buddy like cut his lip or something, like his nail got on it. And anyways, he has this like scar, not a scar, but it's like, you know, when something scabs over and then the scab like goes away, the scab just like doesn't go away and it's on his bottom lip and he's trying to get it fixed at the dentist. Okay. I just told you Corey's medical information without his consent. Is that an OSHA violation? What is that a violation of? Whatever. Okay. So we all have like, what's my like medical thing right now? I have a lipoma. On my inner thigh that I need to get removed that I've had since 2020. When I think crazy thing happened in 2020. I gained like 40 pounds really quickly. And then I got this cyst on my head. I think it's hereditary. Like my dad has them. I remember like growing up, I would like push on his head on the little thing and he'd pretend like he fell asleep. And then when I pushed it again, he'd wake up. So those little like cysts, those keratin cysts, like I got one during the pandemic that ended up by the end of the year was the size of a golf ball. Like it was so big and it was like on almost on my temple. Like it was huge. And anyways, so that grew. And then I also grew a lipoma on my leg. When I gained that weight, it's just like an extra fatty tumor thing. So really weird. The lipoma hasn't changed size or anything. I can get it removed and it's like no big deal. They're like, as long as it's not changing size or shape or getting bigger, like you're probably fine. But I'm like, I just don't like, it's just like, I don't like having excess stuff in me. That's like, I don't know. I feel like it's better to not be in my body. Excuse me. So, and then the weird thing is my cyst on my temple just like went away. It's like, as I started losing weight, it just like went away. So I don't know what that was. I don't think my health was obviously the best at that time. So back to my little monologue. So I told you guys about going grocery shopping, restocking the home, buying peonies, tending to my geraniums in my garden, making sourdough. You know, what else did I do this week? I probably cleaned the house a million times, did some laundry and like wiped down my surfaces with my sprays, like bought some candles, made the house look nice and smell good. So I told you that, right? And this is my little like thing I need to get off my chest. Okay. So I'm married. I bake my little bread. I do all the little trad wifey things. I do the grocery shopping. I clean the house. I garden. Corey obviously contributes and he pulls his weight. Like we don't have a thing where it's like, I do all the cleaning and the cooking and the laundry. Like he does a good amount of that. Okay. But this is what I'm getting to. I love it. Okay. I genuinely do it because I love doing it. Same with putting makeup on and doing my hair nice and putting on nice outfits and looking presentable and leaning into that super feminine, like girly stuff, shopping, like nails. I get my nails done. I like being tan. Like, okay. But this is what I need to get off my chest. Back to my notes. Jesus Christ. Can't even do this off the cuff because I'm too insecure because I want to say this right so I don't get judged. I also like run my own shit. Okay. I have my own podcast. I make my own money. I have my own money. That's always been a constant. So what I'm saying, and I feel like more women need to hear this. Like, you can, and I keep saying this, like, ever since I've gotten married, and the older I get, like, I feel like more women, especially in these times where modern feminism is being like pushed to us through our algorithms, like the ideas about like tearing down the patriarchy and not centering men, and making your own money and being independent and not relying on a man and not involving men in your life at all. Like, I feel like more women in these times need to hear that you can have it all. Like, so I'm saying this because I feel like I have it all. I feel really blessed and like fortunate to say this, but you can, like, I'm married. I love all those traditional trad wifey things, quote unquote trad wifey things. I think it's just like being an adult and like taking care of your home and like getting groceries and fucking making dinner. Like, I don't look at it as like, oh, this is me being oppressed by my husband and I have to do these things and I have to do. No, like, I genuinely love all those things. And I also I feel so independent I'm married, I'm in a partnership, but I have freedom within that to do whatever I want with my career. Like, I have the best of both worlds. Like, I'm building my dream. I'm podcasting. This is my love. This is my baby. This is my favorite thing to do. I can like literally like so it all comes down to, the more women need to hear this. I was saying that. And then it all comes down to being with the right partner who's supportive and doesn't take that from you. So I feel like I have it all. I have that quote unquote like soft life. I have freedom with my schedule. I wake up every day. I don't have to like go to an office or like, and this is I made this choice. Like, this is my preference. Not everyone wants this. I'm not saying everyone wants what I have, but I was working in the corporate world for my entire 20s. Okay. Up until last year. And then we got married. I was planning the wedding. And then I went full-time podcast, like basically 2025. But I literally like, I wake up, I have the freedom to do whatever I want. Corey, like, it's okay to be taken care of by a man. Can I just say that? Like, it's okay to like want that. There's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like some women, it's like good for them. And I was just listening to Bethany Frankel, who I think would disagree. Like, in her case, she had, I don't know how many marriages she's been in, but she was talking about how like that held her back, that comfort of being taken care of. And actually she was not relying on her man financially, or he wasn't the sole whatever, like provider. But she felt like she lost her edge and she didn't stay hungry. Where in my case, I feel like I'm comfortable. I'm really comfortable, but I still have that like desire to like build my empire and to like have my own career and make my own money and to expand my own like life or not life, like my own, like my personal development and my like hobbies and things I'm interested in. And like, I still feel motivated every day when I wake up to continue doing that. And so what I'm saying, back to like being married and enjoying the trad wife stuff and modern feminism, and more women need to hear this, like there's like a path and there's like a life. I feel like a lot of women are living it where you can have it all. Like, it's not a detriment to you if you are taken care of by a man and are married to one. And like, my life has only improved. Like, I've only gotten better. Like, things have only like 10x since I've been with Corey. And I feel like that's how it should be. So it's all about picking the right partner, obviously. He doesn't like, again, he doesn't expect me to do all this stuff. The trad wifey stuff. I do it because I enjoy it and I have space to enjoy it. That's where I feel really blessed and fortunate. And I was talking to my girlfriends about this and they're like, yeah, like you made it. Like, this is like, a lot of people want what you have. I am so pro, like, You can want to get married. You can want to align your life next to a man or partner with a man. You could want to have all the babies. You can want to be the housewife. You can want to be a wife. And you can, and I think a lot of older women say, no, like at some point, bitch, you're going to have to sacrifice. Like you're not going to be able to have it all. And I just feel like it comes down to your mindset and your communication with your partner, because I don't let shit slide. Like if I've always, and this is my number one piece of advice based on what I'm saying, within a partnership, within a boyfriend, girlfriend relationship, marriage, whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, never stop advocating for what you want. Never stop telling your partner about your goals and your dreams, and never stop pursuing them. If you're with someone who takes that from you and sucks that away from you because you got married and now you're stuck with all the laundry and the dishes all day and the kids, that's not okay. If that's not what you want, maybe you want that. Maybe you don't want to have a poppin' podcast like me, or like a career in fucking finance or whatever. Like that's okay. So if you but at the end of the day, you owe it to yourself, and it is so important that you never stop pursuing that. And you have to wake up every day hungry, like as if you weren't with a partner who makes your life easier and can take care of you. I think a lot of women get in a situation where like, yeah, their man can take care of them, so like they don't need to like worry so much. And I just don't, that's not healthy. Like I literally think like I'm a starving college student. Like every day I'm like, what would I do today if Corey wasn't here? How would I operate? What would I do for my podcast or my social media dreams? I have to think this way. It was really hard to think. Okay, so this is like a learning curve for me, because before I was obviously working in the corporate world and I was working full time. And so like, now that I haven't been, I have to like really work that muscle, but I'm conscious of it. I'm aware of it. I'm aware that when things get comfortable for me and too comfortable, that's when I start slipping. So I constantly have to like keep myself on point. So, anyways, back to this, I'll wrap it up by saying like, if you're dreaming of having both, like if you're dreaming of, I want to find Prince Charming, I want to get married, I want to start a family, and I also want to have a sick career. I want to pop off and make $1 bajillion and have my own empire and be that boss babe. Like, I'm just saying, like, you should not have to be with someone who, if that's the case, it is your responsibility, because everything's your fault in this life, to find a partner who doesn't make you choose. And I think a lot of women get into that, go down that rabbit hole once they start settling down. And then years later, they're in their 40s, 50s, whatever, their kids are raised, and they're lost. So picking the right partner is everything. Advocating for yourself and your marriage, your partnership, your boyfriend, girlfriend relationship, whatever, is everything. Never stop doing that, because what's the point? It's not worth losing your like dreams. No one is worth that. No amount of love and like Prince Charming and all of that like Disney shit is worth like giving up your dreams over. And I think a lot of people, like, you have to be conscious of it. And so this is your reminder, if you're listening right now, like, is you can want that for yourself. You can want all those things, and you can have all those things like I do. And it's okay to want those things. Just make sure you pick a partner that is 1,000% supportive of that and doesn't make you choose. Because no matter what, let's get to like the men shit here and the patriarchy shit, men are going to go through life doing whatever they want. They will always do exactly what they want. They will never sacrifice shit. They will never. If they're like, hey, I want to go to the moon and I want to be an astronaut, I'm going to the moon and I'm going to be an astronaut. But women will be like, okay, I married this man and I wanted to be a professional pole dancer. No, I'm like, here and now I'm being funny. I can't help myself. maybe they want to be, I can't think of something good right now. Maybe their dream isn't to go to the moon and be an astronaut. Their dream is to solve cancer or like cure cancer. They want to be a scientist. Okay. But then they marry the man and then that shit slides. That's a common pathway for women where like they had the dream, they got married, and then it goes bye-bye, especially when the babies pop out. So I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's good for women. And I think my mantra to myself, and I think this is like, I don't know why I get like emotional when I think about kids in the future. Like, it's like you owe it to your future kids to never give up on your dreams. Like I don't think kids are worth that sacrifice, or I don't think kids are worth like no man, no Prince Charming, no man of like love, that Disney shit, not even kids. Like I think you can have it all and you can pursue your dreams. You just have to set yourself up for success, and you have to be conscientious of it and conscious of it. And especially if you're like a control freak, a little OCD like me, where you're like, I'm going to get what I want, just like a man, and I'm going to do what I want, and I'm going to have it all, and I'm going to be it all, and because it's my life and I'm in the driver's seat and I want to do it all. Like I'm up for the challenge. I'm up for the chaos. I'm up for the crazy. I'm up for the sleepless nights and the hard work. And it's because I'm so motivated for whatever reason, I'm just super ambitious. I have this thing where I'm like, I just want to live a fucking sick ass life. And I want to like experience all the things and do all the things and climb as many ladders as I can and just be uber successful. Like that's just how I think. And so when I see people back to this whole modern feminism conversation and tearing down the patriarchy, and there's so many truths in these conversations, by the way, and so many things I relate to and I'm having epiphanies about as I get older. I think that women are selling themselves short in this conversation. And they're attacking the patriarchy, rightfully so, don't get me wrong. But I think there's a way to align ourselves with it. That, I know that sounds crazy, but I do believe that there's a way to align ourselves with the patriarchy that allows us to also be successful, independent, boss bitches, fucking free little birds, just like men are. There's a way to do that. That's all I'm going to say. You can read between the lines, figure that out for yourself. Like I basically just gave you the keys to the kingdom right there. Like, but the way it's being talked about is as if it's one or the other. Like it's black and white. And I'm my biggest thing, and the thing I'm so pro is this, like, Jesus Christ, Jacqueline, get it out of your mouth. I don't like binary thinking. I love holding space for multiple truths. I love nuance. I love, like it doesn't have to just be one or the other in life. When we talk about when we have these conversations, and I feel like a lot of the times it is. And so I'm that nuanced bitch out here who's like living, or is that even the word? Yeah. I feel like a lot of women are in my shoes too. And they're kind of like seeing these conversations. I think this is kind of like, I feel dumb for being suckered into it sometimes. Cause I'm like, they're successful. They're killing it. They're doing it all. They're being it all. They're having it all. They're thriving in their marriage. They're thriving with their kids. They're thriving in their careers. Like that exists. So back to what I was saying about women selling themselves short. I think women are tired of being it all. Like I get it, but there's a sect, I think, of women who can align themselves with patriarchy in a way that's beneficial for them. Or like, does that make sense? And then you guys are probably like shaking your heads around like, wrap it up, land the plane, literally land the plane, crash the plane. I'll just go as far to say this about a sect of women. everyone's got a capacity and for what they can handle and take on. And I think I get this from my mom. My mom could handle a lot. She fucking juggled everything. I think if you're the type of woman who can handle a lot and you're ambitious and you have a lot of energy and excitement and optimism about life and the future and what's possible, and that's just how your brain works, like this will probably resonate with you. But I think a lot of women are stuck on, I don't think they want to like ever not compromise. I'm saying I don't want to compromise. They're selling themselves short. I'm trying to get this out of my brain. Because they think it has to be one or the other. It has to be like child free. I don't involve myself with men. I date men for fun when I want to. I flirt with boys. I go on dates. I have sex. I, have my own job. I pay my own bills. I make my own money. And men are like an accessory. They're like a fun thing I do on the side. It's not like a priority to get married, to have babies or any of that. Because I'm in the driver's seat of my life and and men are disappointing and they're evil and they're what's everything wrong with the world. Okay. I actually told Corey, we were like road tripping and I'm like, think of like everything bad that's ever happened in the world. It's because of a man. He's like, oh yeah, you're so right. I'm like, yeah, like, so I think more women should be in power. Like I'm so pro, like get the fucking matriarchy over the patriarchy. Okay. But back to like that life I just painted. It's like, hey, that works for a lot of people. That's great. But you can also do exactly what I just described, minus flirting with boys and having sex with men and dating men. Like you can live that life independent, like pursue your dreams, like make your money and like do whatever you want. Like go on the fucking trip for a week. My husband doesn't care. Like I went on a trip to Arizona for a week. It's like, he doesn't care. If he goes on a golf trip, I don't care. Like, it's like, you can have the flexibility and the freedom to like go and do shit and whatever. And also have an amazing partner to share your life with and to grow a family with. Like, and so that's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that's going to slow you down and trap you and quote unquote trap you and like ruin your life. So that's just like the conversation being had out there. And it all comes down to finding the right partner. I think that's just like the easiest way to sum it up. Like the women that talk about the tearing down the patriarchy and stuff, I feel like they're having a really hard time with men and they're angry and they're having a lot of bad experiences. And I get it. Like it's disappointing out there. It's really disappointing. Men are so far behind. I feel like intellectually they haven't caught up. They're like years behind women mentally, and they just don't get it yet. And we're just so far ahead. And we're like, hey, catch up. Like, hey, otherwise, like, what's the point of associating yourself with them? So I get that. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about fucking Yosemite. That was a very passionate segment. Did I miss anything on my note card here? Oh, do I want to pop off still? Like, okay. We're having fun today, aren't we? Okay, moving on. This is a deep talk, and we're going to move on to the Yosemite trip. I'm sitting with my leg up now because how many hours have we been into this episode? 2 now? I always feel like after I end a segment, I'm like, but do I have something more to say? I've just witnessed so many. This is something I struggle with, kind of along the lines of what we just talked about. Some people are just fucking stupid. Okay. Like a lot of people are stupid. And it sounds mean, but I think there's a pattern a lot of women get into with like certain types of men they date. And you guys all know the cliches. Like, I'm like, this is like obvious, but, I don't feel like bad for that. I feel like it's stupid. Like, I feel lucky that and I was telling Corey this, like I had 2 very formative relationship experiences in my 20s, like long-term relationship, I mean, a couple years, a year, whatever. And that's like all I needed. Truly. Like I learned my lesson and then I took that in my backpack and then I like moved on to my next relationship with like, I feel lucky that I got cheated on, for example, because it sucked. But like, I feel like that was the shit I've learned, you know, just from my relationships, but I learned the lesson and then I like know what to not get into next time. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people go their whole life and they don't learn the lessons and they just keep repeating the same thing. And I have a hard time relating to that. And when I talk to people that they come with the same problems, they come with the same shit all the time. It's always the same gossip. It's always the same. I just got a Charlie horse in my hamstring. I did RDLs today. Oh my God. This hasn't happened since like high school. Whoa. Obviously I listen and I have a heart and I'm like, oh, that sucks. But I'm like, here we go again, back on the roller coaster, the same fucking problem. And it's like, I just stopped giving advice at that point. I just get like, it's just so annoying. And I don't know if you know anyone like that in your life, but anyways, figure it out. I don't know what else to say. I'm so like, hey, you got one life, full send, do your best, learn your lessons, like be great, try hard, like learn, grow, develop, evolve, like, yeah. In fact, my brother and I had a phone call the other day and it kind of reminds me of this topic. Like, I just feel like there's so many, I had like the perfect mix of shit in my life this is now like a stupid, annoying self-helpy podcast. I was supposed to talk about Yosemite. You're probably like, she's got the beanie on, the North Face tee, and she's still talking about like mental health, relationships, marriage. Oh, fucking patriarchy, feminism. I don't know. I'm just feeling blessed today. Let's just say that. And I don't know if this is my neurodivergence because do I have to check that? Like I have a disability box now because I have ADHD. I think this is an autistic thing, but I'm not autistic, but like I'm a literal person. So like when someone gives me information, I take it in and I take their words, their literal words. And then if that's what I'm basing my response off of, that's how I'm using their words, their literal words to come up with advice based on what they're saying. And Corey told me the other day, he's like, you know what? He's like, that's logical. That's smart. That makes sense. Like that's an intelligent approach to helping people and to being a, good confidant, sounding board, whatever. But sometimes people just want to run their mouths and bitch. And you don't have to take it all literally and like, you know what I mean? And I was like, damn, like that's it's hard. It's like hard for me to not like get annoyed by it and like get like, ugh, like they're saying, okay, like fucking like just eye roll, like here we go, So I forget that sometimes, like sometimes people just want to bitch and you just have to like suck it up and listen to it and take it and not take it literal and remember that this is the 17th time they've told you this and then, So I think that relates to empathy and how I show empathy. It's like I'm deeply empathetic, but because I'm so literal with stuff, I don't do the platitudes. That's the thing. I think like people, like super neurotypical people are full of platitudes. Like when someone's like telling you about their problems, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm really sorry about that. Like, that must be really difficult. Like, obviously I'm not an asshole and I do say like nice things, but then that's like where they stop, where I'm like, if someone's, and this is probably why I would have been a great psychologist, therapist, whatever. I feel like I naturally am this like I'm so interested in it. But like when people tell me things, I'm sitting there like taking in their literal words and I'm like, I'm assessing it fucking clinically in my brain. Like I'm thinking of multiple angles of what this could be coming from and like what they should do based on their, I'm like, it's not just like take it in and go, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That to me is so like fake. Like, I feel like a lot of people are fake out there who just kind of like, yeah, sorry about that. Like, I'm so like, really, that sucks. Or like, like, this is horrible. I'm like really trying to like get in the dirt with that person in the trenches with their emotions and like help them, like actually fucking help them. And then whenever I fucking open my mouth to help people like that, it's like attacked. Like I'm not because they don't want to hear it. And that's the thing what Corey was saying. Like some people just want to bitch. And that's so true. Like some people just don't want to hear that like honest feedback, help. Cause I'm very direct and blunt and that is not, and it's considered like not nice and kind of like assholey. When I keep saying asshole in this episode, I don't really like, that's like I'm overusing it. Instead of being empathetic when I'm like, I feel like true, I just think it's more real and honest. I don't know. I think the other way is fake. And I think it just feels good. But I think, I don't know. I just don't like to enable people and make them feel like I'm a yes man. And I just like agree with everything that they're, you know what I mean? It's like, that's what you always know when you talk to me about shit, especially your problems, you're going to get a pretty well thought out response that is probably skewed in a way that's going to be super beneficial to you in your life. Period. I'm a shaman. I'm a fucking, is that what even is a shaman? I'm a fucking, I just find that when I talk to people a lot about their problems or they come to me with advice, they're always just like, so like, oh my God, I never thought of that. You know, that's like a constant in my life. It's always like, they're always like in shock. It's because I'm literally like I said, calculating things in my brain at like a clinical level. I'm taking all the information they're giving me. And I'm like, you know, if you're listening to this episode and you're like a fan of my show, shout out. You probably are the same way. Cause like, I don't know. Is that high EQ or fucking whatever the fuck they say? My IQ is decent. I got my IQ tested. Should I tell you guys what my IQ is? I don't even remember actually. Like what even is the highest IQ? Is it like 160? Okay, this is the Yosemite segment. Let's just get into it. Oh my God. So I'm going to pop off the sunglasses because I need to perk up. Caffeine's no longer in my body. Does Diet Dr. Pepper have caffeine in it? Okay, for this Yosemite segment, we're going to reapply my MAC Syrup lip gloss, or excuse me, Luster Glass lipstick. Kind of wish I wore this shade on my wedding day. I wore a MAC. It's called, my shade for my wedding was called Thanks, It's MAC by MAC, which I thought was like a fun name, but I kind of wish I wore syrup. It's a little more like berry toned, not as nude. Okay, we're just reapplying lip gloss. Oh God, just end the show. End the show. Is there any like influencer drama right now? When is there not, you know? Okay, I was going to say something, but I won't. Okay, so Yosemite. 4 years ago, so the last time I was in Yosemite National Park, I had completed a 50-mile hike from Mammoth to Yosemite National Park via the John Muir Trail. Okay. This was a 5-day backpacking trip. This was you got to dig a hole with a stick and take a shit kind of trip. This was you pack all your food in a bear container that's like sealed kind of trip. You're eating squirrel food exclusively, Cliff Bars, energy goo, beef jerky, freeze-dried mac and cheese, you get the vibe. Okay. So that's the last time I was in Yosemite National Park. I came down the John Muir Trail to the Vernal Falls and Nevada Falls Mist Trail hike. So there was a bunch of tourists coming up it, and then our crew was coming down with our big backpacks on, completing our 50 miles. So the last time I was there was 4 years ago, and we saw one bear. I had no blisters. For 5 days, I did not get a single blister. Shout out La Sportiva hiking shoes. I don't do the high top hiking shoes. I do the low tops. That was same for basketball. Like when I play basketball, I was wearing those Kobe's, like those low top Kobe's. Like I can't believe I sold those. That's my biggest regret ever in life, or one of them, is selling my Kobe basketball shoes. But anyways, shout out La Sportiva, no blisters on this 50-mile hike. So like a little background about hiking, and you know, you might see me here on the show as a glamazon who wears a lot of foundation and contour and cakes her face, loves a lash strip, pushes her tits up, likes a nice baddie Instagram picture, bikini pic. You know, I like to show off my body and flash my tits constantly on social media. Kylie did inspire me, by the way. Like I was thinking I should have jumped on the trend of like disclosing my boob job information on like a TikTok, like just do like an overlay of me like in a bikini or something, and then have like my specs and my surgeon and everything. But I have multiple. That's another piece of tea I'll dump here. I keep saying like I'm never going to talk about it, but I feel like I'm going to come up to the point where it's like I'll just fucking spill and I'll just tell you guys everything, because you know, they're out there and they're not hiding from you guys. And I get it. Like I understand it. And I like tits. I like boobs. I like giant boobs. I like big tits. Okay. I have them. It is what it is. So yeah, you might know me as that girl, right? But I have told you that, I grew up on a farm. Okay. I'm from the sticks. All right. I'm from the boonies. I grew up camping in tents, like pitching a tent, fishing, hiking. My parents would take us on these like crazy 6-mile hikes. I'm like 5 years old and we're fucking going up the mountain. The whole thing. Like I was very outdoorsy growing up. Very tomboy, you could say, always like in the fields, digging holes, playing like military cops and robbers. Like, I don't know, all kinds of like shooting games with my brother. Like just being a rough and tough little cowgirl. So that's my background. Okay. My mom was a mountain climber. She climbed glaciers and rocks. She did the rock climbing thing. And I grew up, knowing my mom was on the top of a mountain, like climbing to the top of a glacier. And, why is mommy gone for 4 days? Oh, she's out climbing and it's night one and there's a storm rolling in and they have to go down the mountain. They have to try again tomorrow. So it was always like mom's on a mountain. So that's the vibe with my upbringing and hiking and being an outdoorsy, Bear Grylls type young woman. Okay. So what else makes me like more? So obviously Instagram's had an influence on me. I am very like, and this is why ChatGPT is like, bitch, your brand is confused, or like, you don't want to confuse your brand too much with these hiking photos. Like, no, like you're the glam girl with a podcast. Like you can't be like the glam girl who like plays golf, who also bakes sourdough and is this trad wife, and also goes hiking, and also has a podcast where you say the F word every 2 seconds and talk shit. And what else? Like, it's like but that's like the thing is, I love that about myself. And I think one of the things I preach is like, shout out what you love about yourself. Be like, most people, if you're like, hey, what do you love about yourself? They're like crickets. And then if you're like, well, what do you hate about yourself? They can list like 100 things. So I like to work that I love myself muscle. And something that I love about myself is that I have those roots of that rough and tough shit. I was out there feeding calves in the barn with my neighbors, riding tractors, mowing lawns for money, picking strawberries next to didn't talk about the ice raids today. Fuck, I could talk about that. next to the illegals in the fields. Like I was literally picking strawberries next to migrant workers at one point in my life. Shout out. So, anything else? I picked up garbage on the side of the freeway as a job for a couple years. I'm not that glamorous. Like, I know I give that off now, especially because Instagram's had an influence on me and I am a housewife and just like online. So I get influenced by all the makeup shit and all the like influencer girly stuff. Like, look at my Swarovski crystal Starbucks cup. Like, it's kind of confusing, but okay. So that's what I love about myself is I have a lot of interests, hobbies. I'm just like so cool and you guys are like so jealous and I don't know. What else do I want to add to that? What else do I love about myself? It makes me feel cool because for a while there, I think I've talked about this a lot. Like I just felt like I didn't have any hobbies or I wasn't like good at anything. But that's not the case. Like and the thing back to like being with a partner, and we have so much fun doing stuff together. Like obviously you can do that with girlfriends. You don't need a man. I get it. But it's just like fun to explore together, go on hikes, go on trips, play golf together. Yeah, it's great. So anyways, that was the last time I was in Yosemite doing that hike. There's a little backstory about, hey, Jacqueline, like, I didn't know you were granola. I am granola as fuck. Okay. Behind the scenes, like, okay. What's like the most granola thing about me? Probably no. Podcast drop or breaking news, full bush. I rock the full bush. Proudly. No, I'm kidding. That's definitely a joke. And, what's the whole like performative bush thing? Like girls that have a bush now, it's like it's performative. Like it's not, dude, it's like not the 70s. Like you are not doing that because it's all for like show. So, anyways, okay, let's talk about the trip. I'll get into all of the details of our Yosemite National Park trip. So first thing I want to say is when you are with a partner, I hate this episode. I fucking hate it. Okay. Like you got to mix in the nature stuff with the bougie city, hotel, luxury. I'm on a yacht. I'm in another country stuff. Okay. So every couple trips or so, go on that nature, do that nature experience. Go on that safari in Africa. Go to a national park. Let's talk, that's not very recession friendly. Go to a national park. You know what I mean? Like go fishing, like do a naturey thing. So I'm very like, that's my advice, my relationship advice of the show. Like, choose your partner wisely also, and go do nature stuff with them because it's such a good reset for the brain. It's so good for us. Like in these tech times, in these times of social media, doom scrolling and social media, you guys know the thing. Like it's just so good for our brains to get out of Dodge, be in a remote location and be one with God and nature and the squirrels. Okay. So, I've been craving Yosemite since I left. Like it did something to me spiritually when I went there for the first time that I cannot explain. It's my favorite place on earth. It's out of this world beautiful. There's something about it that is very like magical to me and it makes me like emotional. I don't know how to explain it. So more so than I've been to a lot of national parks. I've seen a lot of amazing mountains and glaciers and the whole thing, but this was like different the first time I went to Yosemite. So I've been craving it ever since I left. And I told Corey, because he hasn't seen it, he's never been to Yosemite. I said, we have to go to Yosemite. We have to go to Yosemite. So I knew that June was the best time to go because of the waterfalls and the glacier melt or the snow melt from the winter. So we booked our trip to Yosemite. We went there last weekend and we did something. We had the perfect trip. Okay. So this is the perfect Yosemite trip starter pack. If you're going with your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, like this is what you need to do. So number one, and there's options, right? Like you can camp in a tent. You can stay inside the park in a tent. You can stay in a hotel inside the park like the Awani, or there's another hotel there. So you can like be in Yosemite, or you can stay in an Airbnb like on the way. You can, there's all different ways to do it. But I feel like we did the best thing because we stayed at Bass Lake in a chalet like on the lake. So we got that lake vibe experience. And then we drove into the park when we wanted to do the hiking and the sightseeing. So we had our spot at the lake, which was gorgeous. And then, you've got a pool there. I mean, it was like a resort. So you have like a pool, a hot tub, and that's like nice to have, a chalet that's like a cool cabin. And then you've got like the lake. You can rent a boat, a jet ski. You can do all that lake stuff. And then you just drive a short distance to the national park to do all the fun hiking stuff. So that was smart on our part because initially I told you guys a million times we wanted to do the tent camping, or Corey's never tent camped. So I was like, we have to, like, that has to happen on this trip. And we ended up going the complete opposite direction and stayed at a resort. So, I can't recommend that enough. Like that, like doing the lake, and then it was at Bass Lake. If you're like, what lake? Bass Lake. I grew up going to lakes and I like missed it. So, like Coeur d'Alene, Chelan, Ross Lake, these are all Washington, Idaho. So yeah, it was like super nostalgic being there. Anyways, let's do like what we did. So we went Thursday through Sunday. I think that was like the perfect amount of time. Thursday road trip, Sunday road trip. You've got 2 full days. We drove in Thursday. Okay. And now I'm going to get into the road trip snack tier list and like the way to do. This was like a 7-hour road trip, and we took the dogs. Okay. We took the dogs. So we had to stop a bunch, but starting off, we got to get that Starbucks in us. Okay. So we start the trip off rolling through Starbucks. We're a Starbucks household. I know people have their opinions. I love Starbucks. I love iced espresso from Starbucks. I don't really do their foo-foo drinks, or the hot drink I'll get. I don't do their black coffee. Like if I'm desperate, I'll do it if I really feel like a black coffee. But I typically just do their iced espresso, like quad shot, ice, sometimes cold foam. And then I'll do their skinny vanilla latte because like that's the only thing I remember that I like. I don't know. It's good. So we start with the Starbucks. We get those egg bites. We get the coffee. We're on the way. Okay. We've got the chill, Sirius XM music playing. Like Corey likes like, it's so funny. Like by the end of the trip, we're listening to trap music, but like the way, like, cause it just was like getting so long on the way home. We're just like, but we were also, he was getting so down to like Kelly Clarkson, Sabrina Carpenter, like Ariana, like Tate McRae, like he was listening to all the girls with me, and I was just like living for it because he like knew all the words. He was like singing along, and but the very beginning was it was like chill, like house music, whatever. We're going on our little road trip, and then at some point you got to stop at McDonald's. Okay, the only like the main time this episode's getting so long. Are you guys like pack it up? This was supposed to be the entire episode. This segment, Yosemite was supposed to be the whole segment, and now you're running out of breath. Let me get some coffee in me. Okay, I can do it. So we're going to talk a lot about death, dark things, tragedies. At Yosemite National Park, because we were playing with death the entire trip. Let's just put it that way. So at some point you got to go to McDonald's. Okay. You got to get that McGriddle, that egg McMuffin, that spicy McChicken. You know what I mean? Like it just feels right. When you're on a road trip, nothing hits harder than McDonald's. Like that is when McDonald's hits the hardest. You're in the car, and the only time you should be eating fast food is while you're inside a vehicle. Like if you take your fast food home and put it on your kitchen table and open the bag and start eating it at home, you're a psychopath. Like anyone who, I do not understand eating fast food outside of a car. Like it just feels, it doesn't taste good. It's cold by then. The fries are definitely cold. It's wrong. So you got to get that McDonald's on a road trip. What do we usually get? If it's breakfast, we're doing the hash brown. We're doing the egg McMuffin, maybe a McGriddle if I'm feeling fancy and fat. I usually go for the McMuffin though. That holds me over. That's good. And then eventually you're like, I got to take a piss. You're at a gas station, right? So let's talk about the gas station road trip snack tier list. So at this point, you've had your coffee. Maybe you've had some egg bites at Starbucks like we did. You've had a couple McMuffins in you, some hash browns, maybe an apple turnover. I don't know. What's it? McDonald's for breakfast. Yeah, that's like usually what we get, like a breakfast sandwich. So by the time, you know, you're on the road trip and or at a certain point, you're like, I got to take a piss. And then let's talk about that. So gas station restrooms in California are hit and miss. And I'm saying this because one of the first things I noticed when I road trip to California when I first moved here is that they were pristine. Like they were so clean, so nice. These establishments were well taken care of. Their employees were being, I don't know, like paid really well. I don't know what was going on because I was like, oh my God. But like, mind you, you're out in the middle of Bakersfield. Okay. So like, no, like it's desolate. Is that the right word? Desolate. You know, it's not, there's obviously people going back and forth and road tripping, but it's not used like a bathroom in LA, for example. So the first time we took a piss was like up in LA somewhere. And that shit was so disgusting. Okay. Now the thing is you always have to flag down the cashier at the gas station for the code, right? It's like, hey, what's the code? And they're like, you have to purchase something or what? No, what did I get? Oh, I was so mad at this bitch. And then she coerced me into getting the Dubai chocolate. So then we started broing out over Dubai chocolate or broing down, whatever, girling down. But at first she was like, I had to pee. So I go into this gas station. She's like, and it had a code. And I was like, fuck, it has a code. So I go up to the front desk and mind you, we're getting gas. So like we're paying, but she goes, the gas station code will be at the bottom of your receipt when you purchase something. So I'm like, fuck, I didn't bring my wallet in. I have to go back to the car and get Corey and I have to say, hey, like, or whatever. I just like grabbed someone's card, mine or his. I don't remember. And I went and bought, I think a Diet Coke or something. And, and the fucking Dubai chocolate, of course. Cause I was like, I know she's just doing her job. Like, you know, they're trying to like keep people from just using the bathroom. I get it. But they had the chocolate that everyone like opens up on social media now. That's like that pistachio crunchy stuff in the middle. And it was at the front counter. I'm like, oh my God, it's right here. It was $20. She suckered me in so well. And she's like, oh my God, this is my favorite one. You have to get this one and not this one. And she's like, we also have these mini bars if you want to go and just test it. And I was like, no, let's just get the full one. $20 for it. I was like, okay. It was good. It was kind of like a Cadbury egg, honestly. Like it was really sweet. Didn't change my life. But anyway, so I got the code for the bathroom, went to the bathroom. That one was clean. But the one in LA was, I was in there like, wait a minute. This really nice employee that told me the code, she works here. This bathroom's behind the cash, like behind the counter for, you know, the public to use. But I'm thinking like, okay, there's fucking piss on the wall, shit on the wall. It stinks. There's no mirror. There's never a fucking mirror in these bathrooms. That's the same with like road trip, like rest stop bathrooms. There's never a mirror. Same with like national park bathrooms. Anytime there's like, I don't know, like a nature and there's a bathroom, it's going to be like a hole that doesn't flush and then like no mirror. So when you wash your hands, like just no mirror. But anyways, I'm in there. There's no mirror. There's piss and shit all over the wall. We're in the heart of LA. We're fucking, I don't even know where. Glendale, maybe like outside. I don't even know where that is. And I'm in there and I'm just like, she's like a classy woman. I know she works at this gas station, but I'm like, this poor woman this is where she pees when she has to take a piss break on her shift. Oh my God. I'd have that thing so fucking clean. Oh, I don't know how I know a lot of strangers and people come in and use it, like customers, but like paying customers, of course, because how dare you use a bathroom without paying for something first. But I was like, oh my God, if I was working there, I would be like constantly keeping that thing clean because that is disgusting. It was so gross. It was like sad. I'm like, I know this is where she has to pee, but like, I thought, it was disgusting. And so anyways, snack time. So at this point you've had a McMuffin, you've had some hash browns, you've had your Starbucks, some egg bites, and you're like, it's been 4 hours. I'm on this road trip. Fuck it. I'm getting those chips. I'm getting a Snickers. I'm getting a Reese's. I'm getting a protein bar. I'm getting like Funyuns. I always say Funyuns on the show. I'm getting, you need a combo of, so you walk into the gas station and you're going right for that Diet Coke. Because if you're driving, maybe you're like, I need a Celsius or something. Okay. Never go for the gas station iced coffee. Take it from me. It's never good. Gas station, like they always have those like icy like coffee machines that looks like it's going to be something amazing. It's literal water. Do not get that. Your best bet is getting a Starbucks to go iced coffee in the fridge thing. So anyways, so I'm going for that Diet Coke, a chip. I usually get those like cheddar ruffles, some Funyuns. I don't really get Funyuns. Like cheddar ruffles, jalapeno chips, some sort of like kettle jalapeno chip. Those like really good ones, the green bag, those, something chocolatey, some Flips pretzels, some chocolate covered pretzels, some chocolate covered almonds if they have it. Just a candy bar, like that Snickers, that Reese's. I usually get those Reese's sticks or the Reese's fast break. At this point, you're saying fuck it. Like you've already had McDonald's, you've been in the car for 4 hours, you just took a piss in the most disgusting bathroom ever. You need some relief and you need some dopamine. Okay, so you're like, give me all the candy and give me all the chips and fill my body full of aspartame. I need all the Diet Coke. So I feel like at the gas station, that's what it is. On a road trip, you're doing a Diet Coke or some sort of like sparkling something, a drink, some kind of chip or two, maybe like a Chex Mix. Maybe you're doing, it's like maybe those like really good like pretzels. Oh my God, those fucking pretzels have a chokehold on me. Dots pretzels, the ones that are like a stick, but they're swirled and they have a ton of flavor stuff on them. You guys, I'm like feeling like I'm at the point of the podcast where I'm going to start losing my voice. It's like a marathon episode and I'm so into it. And this is going to take like 15 hours to compress and I can't wait because it's 4K and we do the high quality and this might have to go out Sunday. Fuck me. It's supposed to go out tomorrow. I need a different compressor. I need to figure that out. Doesn't matter. It's behind the scenes of a podcast host while she's podcasting. So those Dots pretzels maybe. And then you're doing like, I always get a protein bar or like if they have a fresh section, those, what are those called? Those perfect bars. And then like a candy bar and then maybe some gum. That's one thing I didn't get on this trip that I should have is gum. Cause we were like it was gross. Like after you eat all that, you're like, I just need, So yeah, we road tripped up there. We go to the chalet. The dogs are in the back. We show up. We explore the place. We go sit at this little I was depressed. Okay, so we went to this place in Bass Lake to stay. First of all, we pull in, and I'll get to the Yosemite National Park stuff in a second. But we pull in, and as we're pulling in, we're like, fuck, it was like a Thursday. It wasn't super busy, but we're pulling in and at the same time we pull in, this white Ford pulls in right next to us. And it's like this family that was staying at this right next to our chalet. And they were like a duplex. So you had like a wall between you, if that makes sense. And it was just like the timing was like, oh, they're fucking, I don't know. And you're just like, people are just like, you just went on this road trip. They're unpacking their car. You're unpacking your car. We are typically the people that are like, hi neighbor, like, hi, like, what's up? Like, how are you guys doing? Or how was your trip in or whatever. We're at that point, we're just like, fuck, we're just like the dogs and they're barking and it's fucking annoying. And We weren't supposed to have dogs. Fuck it. We did a really good clean job. Does that just, guys, we were in a pinch. Okay. And, we're not proud of it, but we literally brought our fucking vacuum and cleaning supplies. Okay. And chargers for the like everything. Like it looked cleaner when we left than when we came. Let's just put it that way. Like we were smart about it and helpful and all the things. So anyways, dogs are barking and we're like, we're fucking tired. And so anyways, we unload and it was this really cute cabin. It had like a full kitchen, a fireplace, and then it had a downstairs where the bedroom was and a loft. It was like really cabiny and cute. Cute. And then we explored the little town. There's not much going on in Bass Lake, but I think the population's like 53 people or some shit. It's like really tiny. It's probably like 500, but I can tell that it's like a destination. If you live in like San Francisco or like maybe LA, I don't know. Like I feel like it's people's lake house they go to in the summer. You know what I mean? Like there's like boats and nice homes on the water. I think people say it's like the mini Tahoe. So we explore the little town. We end up going to this little, and this is where I'll get to the depression part. We go to this little like, cause we're hungry. Like we want like after, you know, the fucking McDonald's and the gas station shit. We're like, I'm like, I need a burger. Like I need a fucking drink. I need something. So, we explore whatever. And then we go to this little like it was like trying to be Hawaii in a small lake town in California. Like it had like tiki, grassy umbrellas. There was like, what's like the type of like reggae type music playing. The employees were dressed kind of like tropically, like if that makes sense. And I was immediately getting depressed because I'm like, we are the only people in this restaurant. It's a Thursday. This isn't a busy weekend. Like there aren't a lot of people here. This isn't like Memorial Day or the 4th. Like it's very like calm. And I was like, this is trying to be something it's not. Like it just felt depressing. I don't know how to explain it. I was just like, I don't know. It just, because I'm like, we're out in the middle of nowhere at this lake. And then I was getting depressed about the employees. I'm like, where do they live? Like, where do they go to school? Like, what do you do out here? And like, it just not, there wasn't a lot going on. And so that was like my first impression. I was just like, this doesn't have a vibe to it. And I was getting the impression I was getting from Bass Lake is like, it had its day. Like, this is a tired, ran through town that's been like, you know, I feel like the stars used to go there. It was very like old Hollywood, like, you know, this is where people would escape to back in the day. And like, it was like ripping and roaring and they're driving their little T-birds around and they're fucking, I don't know, just when times were sweet, you know? And now it's like, I don't know. And then it got busier over the weekend and it was like, okay, now it's a vibe. Like there were weddings there. It was like, it was super happening. But at first I was just like, what is this place? You know? So I ordered the burger. Corey ordered some tacos and, yeah, we just like hung out. I think we went to the grocery store, got a bunch of snacks, and I had a fucking crisis in the grocery store. Let's get to that. Cause the next morning we were going on the big hike. This was like day 2, right? Like our Yosemite, is this going to be a 4-hour episode? You're going to see this like on Spotify or wherever you listen. And it's going to be like 3 hours and 45 minutes. Fuck it. I love this. I don't care. But I can feel like it feels like a marathon right now. Like I feel like my vocal cords I'm going to have to get my humidifier out after this and do some breathing exercises. So I had a crisis in the grocery store because I had this like little grocery store at the place. It was like perfect and had a coffee shop, a little pizzeria, little like boutique. It was cool. Like it wasn't depressing. I don't know. Like just the fact like no one was there. I don't know. At first it was just kind of depressing. So, I had a crisis in the grocery store over fucking white bread. Okay. So the next day we're going hiking And what do you take on a hike? Squirrel food. You take Cliff Bars, you take Oreos, you take beef jerky, nuts, chips, like and PB&Js, right? So I'm like, oh my God, this grocery store is very like bare bones. Like they had like one of each thing, like 2 types of bread, wheat bread and white bread. They had like 4. And this was my big crisis. I was like, okay, so we're already getting the Skippy double chunk peanut butter because that's all they had. And that's like amazing. And fuck it, we're on vacation. And then we got that Goober or like Smucker's fake jam. Because we weren't going to pony up. They had like this super bougie one for like $16. And we're like, we're not going to take this home. So like, we're not getting it. So my health and wellness brain was it was short circuiting as I'm trying to decide which bread to pick out for our peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that we're going to take on our hike the next morning. Corey watched me. I think I was there for 15 minutes. I was just like, okay, you've got your Wonder Bread white bread. Then you have like a knockoff brand wheat bread. And then you've got like sourdough in air quotes type, more rustic textured bread. And then maybe like a country honey wheat something that's a little more hearty. So I'm literally like, Corey's like, oh, just get the white bread. You know, he grew up on fucking white bread. Okay, of course he said that. Like white bread, when I grew up, if you know, like I did have an almond mom and I'm grateful for it. I learned all about like health and wellness and clean eating and like, you know, chemicals. And we had like a good, my mom was conscientious of like giving us crap, you know, and like processed shit when she got the good bread, you know, like the better bread, the, you know, the Dave's killer bread versus like the Wonder Bread, if that makes sense. So Corey's like, yeah, just get the white bread. And I'm just like, I can't get the white bread. I know it would be good. Like, I know this will be like super fluffy and amazing. On our hike, we'll be so tired from it because it's like a full vertical we're doing. It's like 2,000 feet of elevation or something like that. So I was just like, okay, like, I guess I get the white bread. And I was like, no, I can't get the white bread. And then I was like, okay, do we get the wheat? And I'm like, well, at this point, it's like the same thing. And then I was like, wait, I'll just get like the more rusticy honey wheat sourdough bread shit. And then I was like holding it and I was like, no, but like this is too tough. Like the texture of this bread is too, like when you put the peanut butter and jelly on it and you put it in the little baggie for tomorrow on our hike, it's going to be too like tough. And so I was like, no, but I can't get that. So I just ended up getting the white bread and I said, fuck it. And so then that night I was like in the kitchen making PB&Js and we made like 8. They're so fucking good. We had to eat them right then and there. Oh my God, it was so good. Like there's nothing like a PB&J on like bullshit white bread. So cut at a diagonal. Cause that's what the rich kids did growing up, right? Like, wasn't that like the rich kid mom thing? The moms of like rich kids would cut it at a diagonal. Wasn't there like a meme about that? Anyways, so we get the PB&J, we get a bunch of Cliff Bars. When Corey grocery shops with me, it's so fun because he just throws shit in. He's just like, it's so funny. Like I'm more methodical and he just like grabs shit. So what else do we get? Those Dots pretzels. We got mega stuffed Oreos. He put those in the cart. We got really shitty beef jerky. I looked at those ingredients and I had a fucking panic attack. Another thing I had a crisis about in this grocery store. We got lots of Cliff Bar type things. I got a Snickers bar. You got to have a Snickers bar on a hike and a Reese's bar, fast break bar. Nothing fresh. I think we got a couple cheese things for the dogs. They weren't on the hike with us, but I just felt bad. Couple canned coffees for the morning. I don't know. We had to get up super early. So yeah, we like went to the grocery store after our little cantina, whatever. What's even a cantina? Like our little like lakefront trying to be Hawaii, but it's not, little late lunch we had. Went back to the room. That was night 1. And then the next day we woke up early. I think our alarm went off at like 5 on the dot, and we drove into the park, and we did the mist trail hike. Actually, scratch that. Okay, so we actually this is why Yosemite took my breath away the first time I went. So if you're going to Yosemite and you're bringing someone for the first time, like if maybe you've already been, maybe you're going for the first time. So this could be for everyone going. Start at Glacier Point. So when you drive into the park, there's a fork in the road. Instead of going into the valley, go to Glacier Point, because this is going to give you the best view of Half Dome. It's like, it was the view that took my breath away and like blew my mind. Like I grew up in Washington. I've seen amazing like Mount Baker, Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens, like all of the big glaciers, like rest in peace, Mount St. Helens. The Cascades, like I saw like the most beautiful mountains, the most beautiful nature growing up. It was in my backyard, right? But this was seeing Half Dome for the first time when I went 4 years ago made me speechless. Like I was like, oh, this is a different animal. This granite stuff, the scale of it, like you see pictures, but like when you see it in person, you're like, oh my God, it like takes you back. And so that's how we started the morning. We woke up at 5, we got our backpacks on, we put all the food in the bag, we said, kiss the babies goodbye, get on the road. And we drove right to Glacier Point. And Corey was just like, because he hadn't seen it before, he was like, oh my God, like, oh my God. And we had the sunrise lighting on it. It was beautiful. No one was there at that point. Like, no, it wasn't super flooded with tourists. I had to take a piss in this Biffy though. Oh my God. It was just a hole literally in like oh my God, these bathrooms are so bad out there, but like, how else are they going to plummet? Or like, I don't know. They had like a observatory, like, what is it called? Like a souvenir shop at this Glacier Point lookout spot where like, I feel like there's like running, I don't know. Just the fact like the bathroom was so bad. I was like, come on, it was fine. It's part of the experience. You got to be up for that. So so he like is in shock. He's like, holy shit. Oh my God. He almost like crashed the car turning the corner, and there it is. Like there you see Half Dome. And my impression of Half Dome, like if you're like, what is Half Dome? Like, what are you referring to? It's this giant Half Dome. No, it's like, okay, first of all, I wore this t-shirt, this North Face t-shirt, on this particular morning. Come to find out, the Half Dome logo, or the North Face logo, excuse me, is Half Dome. I didn't know that. It makes sense. Like when you look at it, it's shaped like a half dome. And so anyways, I thought that was a fun fact. So it's this giant, like rounded on the backside, flat on the front, granite rock, mountain, whatever. It's like 8,000 feet tall. We're already up at a certain elevation. So I think the actual, like, it doesn't matter. It's up 8,000. Okay. It's, compared to a lot of mountains, like that's not crazy, but it's tall. Okay. It's huge. And, it's the type of thing. So when I first saw it 4 years ago, and this happened again, I forgot how mystical it was and how like magical it is when you look at it. I mean, sometimes, okay, when you look out at the ocean, you know that feeling of like, you just feel its power. You feel it's like, you feel so small. There's something like spiritual that happens when you look at it. Same with like mountains for me, like certain mountains, and like Half Dome is like the one that does it for me. More so than El Capitan. We'll talk about El Capitan, the other huge mountain there, or cliff, whatever. Mountain, cliff, wall, whatever. But it, and I looked up the legend of it, because I'm like, I know there's got to be some lore to this. Like I know this mountain, like the people that saw it first, or like the indigenous people that used to live here, like I know there's a story with this fucking mountain because it's so unique. And for me, when I look at it, this is like the granola shit. This is like the granola, like deep part of the episode you've been waiting for. So here it is. It is simultaneously like huge, eerie, mysterious, sad. Like there's this sad energy I get from it. Obviously like beautiful, but it's a very emotional mountain. And I know that's like, what the fuck? How do you get that from looking at a mountain? But it's literally like, you feel like you're looking at also an alien spaceship that's just chilling there that landed. There's something very alien about it too, and outer space about it. It's giving like the Death Star? No. What's the Star Wars thing? The Death Star, right? You know what I'm talking about? The big circle, big round sphere. The Death Star. Cool. You know what I mean? So it's like a spaceship. Like it's very alien, very like, it looks like you're on another planet when you look at it. And there's just like rolling granite everywhere. That's something that was so new to me because I've only seen like mountains with big evergreen trees and it's always covered with trees. So it was different to see just rock. So come to find out. So Half Dome, here we go, stands at 8,839 feet. And there's a native legend of Tisaak. I'm not saying that right. Tisaak. And the Half Dome represents a woman fleeing her husband, turned to stone, and her tears are running down the rock face. That's that like sad thing I was getting. Because the front of it has like streaks, different dark and light shades of granite. And it represents tears running down and a woman's face. So that's like the legend of Half Dome, which I didn't know. On a lighter note, over 20 fatalities on the summit cables alone. So there's this hike you have to get a permit for. Multiple people have died. It's extremely dangerous, but it's like a bucket list thing for so many people that visit Yosemite. It's the Half Dome hike or climb on the side of it, and you basically hook into a optional, I think it's not required, but there's a cable you can hook into to save you or help save you. And then little wooden steps every like strips of wood bolted into the granite every like 10 feet or so. So you're like holding the cables like inching up, and it's extremely slippery, especially if it gets wet. And 20 fatalities. And I think a couple years ago, a girl died and she slipped, and I don't think she was wearing a cable. Like it's super dangerous to do that. So that's Half Dome. So we started there, and then we go into the valley, we drive in, and then there's El Capitan, and there's Half Dome in the backdrop. There's this like beautiful view of the entire Yosemite, like panoramic, setup of all of the spots, all the mountains and the waterfall. It's like Jurassic Park. So the reason why it's so cool, and Corey loves Jurassic Park, this is going to be a 4-hour episode, is the reason why it's so cool is because like you're driving through the park and you're like, there should be dinosaurs walking around. The scale of everything blows your mind. It's like taller than when you're driving through a city and you're like, oh, there's skyscrapers and they're really tall. It's like times 10. Like you can't even describe it. Like the faces of granite are so powerful. It's like, it's so big. And so the waterfalls were rolling this time of year. So they're just coming off the edges of the cliffs. They're huge. They're like the tallest in North America, I think, or one of them is. So we drive into the valley and he's like getting this view for the first time. He's like, holy shit, we're in the park. We're in Yosemite Valley. Like we're in it. And then we go find this little like parking lot that was super busy and we knew it was going to be packed. And then we go do our mist trail hike. I'm just getting texts here. I got to clear out. And we were hiking at like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. at that point. So it was so busy. It was like, I was kind of annoyed. I was like, fuck. Because Corey and I are like fast hikers. Like he likes to get after it and like make it a workout. And so when there's a ton of tourists, it's like, and this was the type of hike you don't want to be a fast hiker on, because there's a part where it's literally misting you with water, and all of the steps, there's like a cliff, steps, mist from the waterfall coming on you, and then a rolling rocky river. So you don't want to fuck around. Okay. This is not a place to take selfies. And we did. Okay. Like we were playing with death, but like, yeah, like it's very dangerous. So I knew it was going to be busy and we had to be really careful. And, let me just, yeah. So let me just get to some facts about this hike. So if you're going to Yosemite, start with Glacier Point, look at Half Dome, drive into the valley, get that view. It's called the tunnel view of the whole, like all the rock or all the mountains. You see everything. And then, do the Mist Trail hike, hit it hard with like a really good hike first. The Mist Trail is the most popular trail. It's also the most deadly. So Yosemite averages 12 to 15 deaths per year, and it's had over 1,300 since 1890. So you don't want to fuck around and find out here, and you don't want to be caught taking a selfie on the edge of a cliff because a lot of people die that way, especially now with our selfie culture and our Instagram culture. Like people are just like falling to their death as they're clicking that photo like button on their phone. So it's a 3-mile route, or just 3-mile scenic trail ending at Vernal Falls. That's the big waterfall that we saw. We were going to go to Nevada Falls and keep going, but we decided not to, which is what it is. Like, I don't know. We just decided not to. We could have kept going, but, there's been over 40 deaths on this trail, and most are caused by slipping into the falls. And a lot of people just like disappear into it and like drown. So it's really sad. Something I want to note about this hike was the amount of infants strapped to their mother's chest on this hike. Like we're talking like we're walking on slippery, wet steps, cliff on the side, waterfall view, mist flying all over where you're getting soaked, and just moms and their babies. And guess where they're all from? You guessed it. Fucking Europe. These European women, I'm like, this was like so what my mom did though with us. Cause like when we grew up, it was kind of like that. Like she packed us with her. Like we were going on these hikes, and obviously it's so dangerous for little kids to be in these environments, but it definitely built a lot of body trust and confidence growing up. Like I think there's a fine line. I think the Mist Trail with these little babies was too extreme. Like I would never do that. I just don't think I could bring an infant up the trail like that. But, in general, I think putting your kids in like a little bit of a sketchy environment where they have to, climb on stuff and like, use their motor skills. I don't know, like try to like stay on their 2 feet without falling. Like, I know there's a lot of research in that. I don't know. I haven't read it all, but, it just seems smart to like push your kids a little bit and not always coddle them and protect them from falling to their death on the Mist Trail. Oh my God, I cannot believe 40 deaths on the Mist Trail, most due to falling. So we did the hike. We went to the top by the waterfalls and ate our little PB&Js and our Cliff Bars and all of that. And we just hung out for a little bit. And then we decided instead of going up to Nevada Falls, I kind of wish we kept going, but at that point we're like, F it. We want to like go back to the resort and like lay at the pool and tan and just like chill and be with the dogs. So, cause we were away from the dogs. That was the thing. Like we had to factor that into our day. So, we went back down the trail and, it was super steep, like, and slippery and crazy. I'm so glad I have my good hiking shoes, and Corey did too. Like we were set up pretty good with her footwear, but, at that point we're just so tired. We're like, okay, beer me. Like we gotta, we wanted to get a little drink after. So we went to this little kitchen thing, cafeteria thing, got a sandwich and a drink, hung out. And then we ended up going back to the pool for the rest of the day, tanning, the whole thing. It was like 90 degrees, like super hot, and played with the dogs. And then that night we went to this like nice steakhouse type restaurant. So the whole time, like I was living my best life. I'm, granola girl. Then I'm like tanning Barbie in the bikini at the pool. And then I'm like glam dinner outfit, looking cute, the whole thing. So It was really fun. I enjoyed that part of it because at first, like I said, we were just going to pitch a tent and like biff it. But it was fun to like pack a cute little dinner outfit and like do my makeup and, you know, lay at the pool and be in a bikini and tan. And then, yeah. So we had our little dinner. I think we watched the NBA finals games like this trip. Like I think there was 2. We watched them at night. And then the next day, so now it's Saturday. So we did Thursday through Sunday, right? So it's Saturday. We wake up and we had a little like lake morning vibe. We went to that little coffee shop. I think our coffees were like $23 for 2 coffees. Like I was like, what did we order? So I think we got like extra caffeine, like an extra shot. So it was like, anyways. So the night before we had a steak and some margaritas. I was feeling a little hungover that Saturday morning. So I think we got the extra caffeine. It was just like, shoot me up. Then we took the dogs to the lake. They swam. And it was so funny. I posted a video of it, but like Louis can't swim because he's a bulldog and he knows he can't swim. Like we typically take them to the ocean and we don't mess around. Like we don't take them off the leash. It's too sketchy. Like we don't trust that at all. And especially the currents and just the waves, it's like too much. And so this was like the perfect environment to test his like swimming skills or like what he'll do in water. And we took him off the leash and he literally like gets up to his chest. And then if he goes too far, because he's so top heavy, because his chest is so heavy, he just like bobs, his butt like bobs up. And then he like scrambles and like backs out. So he couldn't swim, which was perfect for Jimmy because Jimmy, ever since Louis and Jimmy met, like it's been a rough life for Jimmy. He doesn't really get to play fetch anymore because Louis is such a ball hog. And so this lake was the perfect barrier for them because it kept Louis from stealing the ball from him. Like, or it didn't. Once Jimmy came back to the shore with the ball, Louis like punted it out of his mouth. He just like headbutts him and like hits the tennis ball and like shoots it out. But, you know, Jimmy's a golden retriever, so he could like swim and catch the sticks and the balls. And we did that for like an hour. It was so fun. And then I think we went to this little, like, or not little, it was this huge like antique mall, super like quirky shop with like a million old things, like old, just a bunch of shit, honestly. Like nothing was calling our name. Like I was like, we're going to find something for the house. Like I just know it. We'll find something cool. And then you're almost like overstimulated and you're looking at all this stuff and you're just like, okay, I don't want anything. It's just all like, you've probably seen, these are like old, like outpost, like, I feel like they get stuff from a bunch of like estate sales, and a lot of things are like rusted and old, and it's like fun because they're antiques. Like you're looking at, I'm trying to think of something cool I saw, like an old like World War II helmet. That was cool. Like, what else did I see? Like we saw like old Playboy magazines from like the 60s. That was kind of sick. Just like Native American dolls, like really old ones. Like there was cool stuff. I just like wasn't, I don't know. We just like ended up looking and having fun looking, and then we didn't get anything. And then we drove back and then hung at the pool, and what did we do for lunch that day? I have no idea. Like, I don't remember, but probably honestly, probably like a protein bar, a leftover PB&J. We were just, the whole weekend we ate like chips, Oreos, and protein bars and PB&Js, like on repeat. And then that night, so that was our Saturday night where we had a reservation at the Ahwahnee Hotel, which I'll get into. That's like a super luxury. It's not even like it's a luxury resort inside Yosemite National Park. So we had a reservation that night for dinner. And so before that, I wanted to do the El Capitan hike and go to the base of it so Corey could like look up and have that experience of how tall it is. And then we wanted to see the Yosemite Falls, the tallest waterfall in North America. So we drive in. So we do the little like coffee shop morning, the lake with the dogs. We do the little antique shop thing. And then we drive back, pool day, chill, tan, come home and shower at the cabin, and then drive into Yosemite. And then we drive right to the hike. And at that point, it was like getting darker out. It was like sunset time. And I remember from my 50-mile hike being so like the hair on my back would go up the most at dusk and dawn. There's something about being in the wilderness at dusk and dawn. And I think it's a primal instinct where you're like, you're on edge a little bit because you're like, this feels like it's time for feeding. Something's hungry. They're either waking up or they're eating dinner and they're out. And I'm like, that's where my spine or the hair on my spine goes up for bears. So, and there's bears. I mean, there's hundreds of bears in Yosemite. They're everywhere. They're all black bears. There's nothing. I mean, you just never know. Like, I don't like to fuck around and find out with wildlife. That's the reason I don't get in the ocean. That's just how I am. It is what it is. But they're out there and we could have easily seen one at that time of day. And so we do this little hike and I was sketched out the whole time because we didn't have any bear spray. I have my fanny pack with my iPhone. Corey's got like a water bottle maybe. And it's like this maybe 15-minute hike. It's very short to the base of El Capitan. Now, El Capitan is the tallest, I want to say, rock face in the world, or granite rock face. Tallest wall. Let me get the specs here. It's taller than the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. So it's towering 7,573 feet of elevation. But I think the wall itself is like 4,000 feet. The max height is 4,000, I want to say. Alex Honnold free soloed it. So like when I mentioned Half Dome and I'm mentioning El Capitan now, these are the two mountains that Alex Honnold, this is going to be a 4-hour episode. I'm literally running out of breath. They're the two mountains he free soloed. So he went up without a rope. So when you go there and you look at it, you're like, oh my God, like it's unreal. And especially at the base of El Capitan, when you look up, you can go to the spot where you started. Like you can literally walk up to it and you're like, this man just started climbing. And it's so hard to even start. Like it's fun. Like Corey and I like both try to like put our fingers in and like, you know, get her. It's so hard. So, I think it's like I don't know. There's like a grading system for rock climbing and it's like basically world-class climbing only. Like you can't go up there if you're just starting out. Like this is for the big dogs and the big dogs only. And I feel like that's another thing I want to talk about, like climbing TikTok. Now I'm being fed rock climbing videos and rock climbing influencers. And there is a type of person that climbs rocks. And I'll just say it now before I get into this, like, the story of our hike and everything. It's like they're all obviously screws are loose because that's not normal to like stand on the side of a cliff and be like, yeah, like I could just climb up this, or like I can just stand on the side of the cliff or lay down next to it or put my feet over it and just sit there. Like something in the brain, I think it's the amygdala, like doesn't fire in these people's brains. They're not afraid of heights. That's like Alex Honnold. That's in his case, like that's what's happening. Like his amygdala like doesn't get stimulated. It needs a shit ton of stimulation to feel fear, something like that. Like he's had his brain scanned, and obviously they've looked into this because of his free solos and his, the crazy climbs he's done. So all these people, they're like the influencers, like the people that are like, hey, I'm on El Capitan. They're literally like hanging off the side of this. They're like 3,000 feet up in a sleeping bag, chilling. It takes them like 4 days to, fully climb it just to go to the summit. And it's like, they're just so like, okay, it's like, they're kind of like carnies. It's kind of like, you know how like homeless people are? Now, these are the coolest fuckers in the world. Like the fact that like, it's so dope that they can do this. And they're just badasses. Like anyone that climbs El Capitan on a regular basis or like is a rock climber and does that, it's like so badass, but at the same time, like a lot of them are like fucking carnies, like the carnival people, like the, like kind of like a zombie, like homeless person. They're just like, they're almost like they're like a police dog. Like they're too enthusiastic and too like this girl, she does these like silk things where she does like, it's like, when they do like pole dancing, but it's on like the silk things and they like do the splits, she'll like go on this fucking bungee thing. And she'll, first of all, she'll slackline. Is that what it's called? Walk on it, fall a few times, whatever, just like scooch along. And it's like thousands of feet in the air. Go on this little bungee pad, drop her silk things and just like do a bunch of flips and like wrap her ankles in it and like do these like aerial acrobat stuff or art or whatever. Like, but then she talks about it and like she'll do like her voiceover and it's just so like nonchalant and positive. Like, oh, just come with me to like go and like it's like Corey and I talk about like special ops, like secret, like not secret service, like special ops, like military guys. Like there's like a vibe to them. And we were just watching this Osama bin Laden. There's a new 9/11 documentary that came out on Netflix, and this guy, the guy that shot Osama, like he's interviewed and he's talking, and he has this like police dog energy. Like a lot of military guys have this very like matter of fact, optimism, or it's like positive. There's like no emotion or fear. It's just like, and they're like excited. Like they're just positive and excited about the mission. And they're like, this is what we do. And and it's like, there's no like resistance in their brain towards what they're doing. And so with rock climbers, I feel like it's the same thing. Like these people, like when you watch their TikToks of them climbing, they're showing like, they have a fuck ton of ropes and carabiners and all these little things they have to like pack with them and hoist up in these bags. These, I think they're called whole bags. First of all, they have to like shit in a pipe and keep it in the pipe. They don't shit over. Rock climbers, like you're packing your piss and shit like with you the whole climb. And some people, it takes them like 8 days. They're just like shitting in a tube and keeping that with them the whole time. Just, it's wild. That's something I thought about. I was like, where are they peeing and shitting when they're up there for multiple days? Because they're not just doing off the side of the mountain. Like that's uncalled for. Like they have more decorum than that. There's like all these obviously rules and laws. And I think the latest thing is like a trans woman flew a flag on the side of it. And they're like, hey, no flags on El Capitan, something like that. That was a recent headline. But it is just incredible. Like the lack of resistance towards it. And we met, so like, let me get back to our hike. So we hike in, it's like 15 minutes, hair's going up on the back of my neck. I'm like, or on my spine, whatever. And I'm just like aware of my surroundings. And the number one thing I do when I'm nervous in the woods is talk loud, because that's the one thing you should do with bears. Like make noise, just make your presence known. Don't just be loud. Cause it works really well with bears. It'll like literally yelling at a bear and being like, go away bear. It'll scare them off. Like that's like the best, honestly, like based on like videos I've watched and what I've learned. And, that's like the best way to do it. You just have to make noise and be loud and be big. And so I was like talking really loud to Corey on this hike in and the hike out. And I wanted to get like pictures of him looking at it and everything. So I was like doing his little photo shoot, and I did it of myself. I'm like looking up and like, holy shit. I mean, it is so big. It's the most powerful. Think about it. Like the Burj Khalifa is the tallest building in the world. Like you can't get any taller than that. Obviously Everest is Everest, but like when you stand at the base of a rock face that's taller than that, it's 2.5 Empire State Buildings tall. It is so powerful. And there's a piece of it, it's called the nose route on the tip we went to, that almost like overhangs. So it's so powerful. It is so, nothing is cooler, in my opinion, cooler looking than that. Like watch me start rock climbing like in a month. No. So we did that and we did our little pictures, whatever. And then he's like, should we pick up a rock? And I'm like, I don't know if we can do that. I feel like you're not supposed to take stuff with you. Like, it's like leave no trace. And also like, don't take nature with you. There's like some sort of like term about, I know it's like leave no trace. You're not supposed to like leave any trace of garbage or anything out there. But it felt like wrong to take a rock, but I understood like where he was coming from. He's like, we should have a little memento. We didn't end up taking anything. And then on the hike back, I was just like, let's fucking get out of here. Like we're there. So at that time of day, it was like dinner time because there's still a bunch of light out. It's like June. So the sun's going down. It's like dawn, or excuse me, like dusky. Tourists at that point are like heading back to their tents and their hotels. And it's just like us, El Capitan. And then on the way back, I think we saw like 2 people on this hike. On the way back, we ran into this climber. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, oh my God. Like it was so cool to me because I was like, he's got all of his gear all around him, his ropes. He's got his helmet. He's like ready to go. And it's like getting dark out. And he's like, hey guys, like, what's up? Or we said hi to him. He's like, hey, what's up? And we're like, Corey was just like, oh my, it was almost like seeing like Jesus. You're just like it'd be like seeing Alex Honnold. Cause like anyone that climbs that, I'm like fucking respect. Like, oh my God. And he's like, hey, yeah, like we're like, what are you going up tonight? He's like, oh, hell no. Like, no, you know, I've done it a few times, whatever. Like, no big deal. He's like, oh, I'm just going to go up like 600 feet. It'll take me a couple hours. Just doing a little practice thing. I'm like, oh my God. It's like his night workout. So that was pretty sick to see. And then, okay, so let's get to the Ahwahnee Hotel because I need to wrap this episode up. So the Ahwahnee Hotel, let me just like get to a little bit of the lore. Do I have it here? I don't think I have it on here. No. So it's this luxury hotel within the park. I think Ahwahnee is the term. It means something. It's a, I don't know if it was from a tribe. I don't know if it's the name of a tribe. I think it means something. It's like killer, I think. Something, one of them, I think Yosemite might mean killer. So it's this like luxury hotel in the middle of the park. It's like you're staying inside Jurassic Park and it's like bougie. So everyone's like, there's like options. You've got like tents, you've got cabins, you've got your Best Westerns, you've got your Airbnbs, you've got like the lake resort we were at, and then you've got like the luxury Ahwahnee Hotel within the park. Okay. So when I found out about this, I was like, oh my God, like, can we get a reservation? No, it's booked out like a year in advance. And then I was like, can we eat dinner here? So then I was like, oh my God, they have this amazing dining hall that literally looks like the dining hall in Harry Potter. There's like chandeliers with candles on it. It's like this wooden, cool, like ceiling. There's like tables everywhere. It's huge. It's like sprawling, just like Harry Potter. So it's like, oh my God, we got to get a reservation. The only thing they had was like 8:30 on that Saturday. So we saw El Capitan, and then we ended up skipping the Yosemite Falls, because one thing about Yosemite is once you get on the merry-go-round, there's like a one-way in and a one-way out. If you fuck up your driving, you have to like go all the way around again. And at that point it was getting dark and we're just like, we saw it. Like you can drive by and see the waterfall, but we're like, F it, we'll just, you know, go to our dinner. So, anyway, so it has this amazing dining hall. The only reservation available was like 8:30. So I was like, we'll take it, whatever. And, I booked like a month in advance and that's the best we could get. And so I was like so excited. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be like fine dining in Yosemite. Should I just rip the Band-Aid off? Like it was giving college cafeteria food. And I'm being like, I know like, okay, I'm coming from a place of privilege. I've had a lot of fine dining in my life and a lot of like nice food. And I've been to really nice restaurants. So like my palate might be a little more, you know what I mean? Like it just is what it is. So I was coming in, like I literally so we come from the hike. I go into the bathroom at this Ahwahnee Hotel. It's like so nice. You walk in. I mean, it was just so over the top, like a beautiful lodge, like resort vibe, amazing gift shop. We like checked out the gift shop and there's like this really nice bar. And so I like walk in and we packed a change of clothes. And so I like go into the bathroom, into the stall, and I get this like, I bring this little red dress and my heels, like so excited for our fancy dinner. And I get all like fixed up, you know, I brought my perfume, like I'm looking cute. And then I go meet Corey in the bar and we have a drink there and a charcuterie board. And we're like waiting for our reservation because it was kind of later, right? It's 8:30. And oh my God. So we go in and it starts with, what do you want to drink? And I think I had champagne or something. I wanted something like sparkling. And then Corey got a cab, like a red wine. And he didn't say anything. I tasted at the end of dinner, but it was so bad. It was like worse than church wine. It was so bad. And I think it was like their house Ahwahnee wine. It was so like, you know, when you see pictures of something and you have this impression of what it is, and I didn't look at reviews. So that was where I went wrong. Cause I did afterwards and I was like, oh my God. Okay. I wish I did this before, but it was 12 out of 10 for the ambiance and the experience. They had a piano player in the dining hall playing like literally Harry Potter music. So that was amazing. The decor, everything, it was gorgeous. Like you look out the window. We had a window seat. We're looking at Half Dome. It's sunset. It's gorgeous. So like that was a 12 out of 10. But like as the dinner was going on, and it was a buffet, by the way. So they didn't have like a menu that you ordered from. It was increasingly getting worse and worse. By the time we had dessert, we couldn't stop laughing at how bad it was. And this is like, I'm not making this up. Like if you read reviews, everyone says the same thing. So I think what's going on, because there was a lot of construction happening at the hotel, I think they used to have a better menu and like kitchen or something, like a better chef, but they're doing renovations and they can't access the kitchen like they used to. There's some sort of thing that shifted. And so the quality's gone down and now they're doing like more of a cafeteria style, like high volume dinner buffet. I think that's what some of the reviews were alluding to. So it was just so bad. I'm like eating, like we had prime rib. The shrimp was okay. It's like they put blue cheese in the mashed potatoes. It just wasn't hitting. It's like, this tastes funny. Like I want mashed potatoes with like butter and maybe just normal cheese. No, it was like, everything was like wrong. It was like blue cheese mashed potatoes. The asparagus wasn't even cooked. Like the salad was overtossed. The prime rib was cold. The chicken was okay. It was like Mary's chicken. So we ate our dinner. It was like edible, right? Like you're eating it, but you're expecting like to be like, wow, this is great. You know, your brain's like malfunctioning because like where you're at, you're like in this amazing hotel. It's like gorgeous. It's like Harry Potter dining hall. And then you're eating the food and you're like, why does it feel like I'm in a college cafeteria? That's what everyone's calling it. Like on the reviews, everyone's saying that. So that was a little weird. And then by the time we got to desserts, we're like, oh, fuck it. It's dessert. Like it's gotta be good. I mean, it was giving like grocery store, worse than a grocery store. Like when you go to the bakery, it was like, I'm eating the lemon bar and I'm like, I'm tasting egg. Like it's like I'm tasting the egg in the curd here. Like I'm tasting like, or we got a brownie and it was just like flavorless and like, I don't know. It was just like the dinner was horrible, honestly. And it was like, we had this on our list of things. This was like something we were so excited for. So that was kind of a letdown. I would go back. I think this is the kind of place you go back to every few years, but I bet like by then they'll get hopefully they'll improve their dinner. And we even had a buddy who's like, hey, you got to go to the Awani, you got to get dinner at the Awani. And it's like, everyone thinks that. And then right now it's like not the best. So that was our last night and it was sketchy driving back home because it's dark. We're going on this super windy pass to get back to Bass Lake. We got home super late, like at 10:30. And what else? The next day we drove home and, I'm trying to think if there's any notes. It was just such an amazing trip. So I'll just wrap it up with this because it's getting so late. I think this was like a 4-hour episode. Like it was such a amazing trip. We did everything right except for like that dinner, obviously. But I can't recommend like going on a nature thing with your significant other enough. Like we did the little hybrid thing where it was like a little bougie, a little naturey. There's different ways you could have done it. Like we could have camped. I kind of wish we did a little bit because next time we'll probably camp or who knows. So yeah, that was our trip to Yosemite. It was gorgeous. Do I have anything else here? Tinder has height settings on their app now. Isn't that like what Hinge had? Like it's always been a thing. There's this AI ape on TikTok that's going viral. It's like this, I'm just looking at like palette cleansers here. Pop culture. What do I have? I don't know. The Justin Baldoni case got dismissed. That's big news. I need to wrap the episode. Thank you so much for hanging out. That was my Yosemite trip. I'm granola, but I'm also glam. Get a girl who can do both. I'm so cool. I'm so multifaceted and I'm unapologetic. And what did we learn today? Like basically pick the right partner. Be, what's the word? Don't settle. What's the, you know how like girls are, be picky. Be picky. Advocate for yourself. Never get suckered into something where your partner's taking away your dreams from you. Like, that just seems obvious, but I feel like people need to be reminded of that. So that's a huge thing you learned today. What else is on here? Plane crashed and Air India crashed. Yeah. Watch the Titan sub documentary. I'm a trad wife and a boss babe and I can do it all, and you should too. It's okay to like want traditional things and enjoy the traditional things, and also enjoy hustling and making your own money. And like, this will be 5 hours. This will be 5 hours if I keep going right now. Some things just seem so obvious to me, but like people make it like way more complicated than it needs to be. And I feel like, again, with what I said earlier, it's like you're selling yourself short. You're capable of so much more than you're giving yourself credit for. And I think to just discount or to see life as like you either or with men, with involving yourself with men, with marriage, with being in a partnership with a man, as like an either. If you go down that route, it's this, or you have that independence, freedom, and money of your own thing. It's like, no, like you can have both and thrive and be just as happy. I'm not negating the fact that you can be happy single the rest of your life, or like not getting married. Like I see that route for so many women, and how great that is. That's so true. There's so many multiple things can be true. Like that's what we learned today. Like hold space for multiple truths. You know, I just had to remind everyone of that earlier with my little monologue. Because I'm trying to control my perception and come across like the right version of myself that I want you guys to think of me as. Okay. Thank you so much for hanging out today. Please hit that subscribe button. Oh my God, am I going to forget how to say this? Please hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening right now. I'm on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Breaker, Overcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Please hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to review the show 5 stars while you're there. If you made it 5 hours in, I think it's a 5-hour episode. I have no idea. Please hit that 5-star review button and let everyone know what you thought about the show. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Jacqueline Monroe, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Jacqueline Monroe Show on YouTube. This is a video and audio podcast. You can also watch me on Spotify, which is kind of fun. But go over and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're on the journey to 1,000 right now. If you made it this far, help a sister out. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're a fourth of the way in that goal right now. So go check out my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.